Hey, so we have a message from one of the fans of the podcast. I call him Nitro Kurt. He has a message for everybody. I thought this was so epic. I asked him to make a voice note, so he did. So let's listen to what he has to say.
Listen, people, don't get it twisted. Tebow, Mayfield, Drake, Ronnefalk, Boots, Ungaro, Fenn, Cav, Rifkin, Bornhorst, Ty, all say Ebuggy. Let's rip Nitro, Buggy, and Truggy all day, night, weekend, and year long. But contract says must do damn boring ass put me to sleep 110 Buggy and listen to high powered sewing machines. Me.
Well, tell us how you really feel, Nitro Kurt. Hey, check my boy out, Muggy Maniac on YouTube. He's a big fan of the podcast. He loves Nitro. I love hearing him talk about it, and I love that he sent that voice note. But you know what? We have a mystery co-host. It's time to drop this intro, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the flip side.
Nitro is the glory. Welcome to the No Name RC podcast with your host tonight, Keenan White, aka Lefty the Great, and if you are unlucky, the Finnish village idiot, JQ. This is the RC podcast with no name, but plenty of content. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious bench racing.
Yes, indeed, Nitro is the glory, but Ebuggy pays the bills. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number, I don't know, I'm a bit confused because we did a live last night, but the audio kind of got messed up. So let's call this episode 113-ish, I guess. But it will show up as 113 on the list. And I'm your host, Keenan White, aka Lefty the Great, and we have a mystery co-host this week. He's been on the podcast before. He's a good friend of mine. But I'm going to wait. I'm going to do my spiel here and thank all the awesome people that support this podcast. Then I'll bring them on. So before I go on any further, I want to shout out and say thank you to all of the No Name RC podcast listeners around the world, the NNRC squad. Thank you guys. Without you, none of this is possible. Thank you for your support. Shout out to the patrons on Patreon. Hey, you guys keep these bills paid. I appreciate it. Your help is going to help me get to races when we start going again. And also get me some good goodies, you know. So I appreciate all the patrons on Patreon. You guys got early release of this week's podcast and hopefully a little extra today. So we'll see. Yeah, if you guys are interested in being a patron on Patreon, it's patreon.com/ the No Name RC podcast, NNRC podcast. But the link will be in the written description here. So thank you to all the patrons and shout out to all the awesome companies that support and advertise and sponsor this podcast. First off, to our title sponsor, Mayako. They released that video last week, and it's caused a stir a week before, but they haven't released nothing so far yet. But their message stays the same. Maximum focus on you. Focus on quality, not quantity. Exceptional after-sales support with our Mayako service centers. No Mayako sponsorship program. Instead, a membership program for sincerely committed racers. Follow them at @mayako.official on Facebook and YouTube, as well as Instagram. So thank you to Mayako. We have no new messages from them, but I think our guest and I are going to talk about their business plan. Shout out to all the other awesome companies. Beach RC, love you guys like life. Brent, Lucas, remember guys, we have an affiliate link for that. If you can use it, please, it's greatly appreciated. Tekno RC, been a long time supporter of the podcast. Excited to see what Tekno is going to do here at DNC coming up soon. Oh, to my JQ Racing family, I'm so upset. No DNC for me. Nothing. It's just, it is what it is. But to all the JQ Racing guys that are going to DNC, good luck. RCMX Online, thank you for your support. Sun City RC Raceway, SCRC. They got the TNR race coming for the dates of RCGP. So if you want to go to a cool race, go check them out. Also, shout out to Manscaped.com. Remember, this is our out of the industry partner. Like, they are not into RC, but they sponsor this podcast. So go get yourself a Lawnmower 3.0. Use our promo code No Name in all caps, and you save 20% off your order. Thank you, Manscaped.com. Shout out to Papa Willie's Traction Tonic. I'm going to get Scooter on next week. We're going to talk about his awesome traction sauce and a little bit of dirt oval where he comes from. Please, guys, support Papa Willie's and Scooter. You can go to their website, use the promo code NNRC. You save 10%. Remember, all links are in the written description of this podcast. Racecraft USA. I gotta get me a Racecraft USA hat and shirt to rock on the podcast, man. Them guys are killing it. I saw they got a whole bunch of new command modules coming out, so get you guys a command module before they sell out. They do have a website. All of that is here in the written description. JQ Threads, a company providing opportunities, not just a business. Check them out. My boy Wally, show him some love. Wally's working hard. He's got a lot of sponsors. Go check him out. He's busy. He's probably going to be in the show next week or following weeks, but thank you, Wally, for all your support, man. I'm going to order me a Wally Builds hat here soon. House of RC. Don't forget to sign up for House of RC, people, please. It's important. This is your one-stop shop for everything RC. So even if you're not racing, go to House of RC and sign up if you can, please. And, of course, RCGP, who opened up entries for Portugal. And, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it happens. I would love to go to Portugal. I would love to go to Yao Figueiredo's track and just freak out. Yeah, you know I would love to do that. So hopefully this happens and hopefully it fills up. So we'll see how COVID lasts. So thank you to everybody. Shout out to my boys, Clean Freak, Saucy Washer, and all these guys. Check out Zach Thompson. Check out Charlie. Great small companies trying to do big things in RC. So check them out. And hey, if you can show them some love, please do. Remember, showing our sponsors some love shows the podcast some love. So I guess you're all waiting to see who my guest is. He is no stranger to this podcast. I haven't spoken to him for a while, but I'm going to bring him on, and let's do that. So welcome our co-host, Max Speed, in his full associated regatta. Oh, my gosh.
What's up?
What's up, Maxie? How you doing?
Good. Yeah. Chilling.
I'm so glad to have you back on the podcast. You were like one of the originals that helped me get started. Funny, I listened back to like episode 1, and it sounds just like the echo when I was on Joseph's video the other day. And it's so horrible. And I just looked, but it still got a lot of downloads, what we said. Well, I think you was on that, but it was me, Dagani, and Joseph. But thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate it. I just watched your video on the Nitro, death of Nitro. But hey, what's up, man? What have you been up to? I see you haven't shaved that fluff of hair above your lip. Your eyes are looking all blue. I like your videos. You're back. What's up?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I've been mainly just going to work, getting some money in the bank, just figuring life out. And yeah, I've been racing all the time still, but just like no races going on, so really can't like make it look like I'm doing anything. But yeah, I've been practicing a lot. I went to the track like a couple times a week during when there wasn't snowing. Now it's like it's been snowing for like a month straight. So
it is Finland now. It does snow there.
Yeah,
it's supposed
yeah,
to snow
but
there.
I mean, I can't remember a time where I've seen this much snow, and I've lived in Finland my whole life. So
well, I mean, for Joseph, this is the first time he spent a winter in Finland in what 10 years. He's so miserable.
I feel he must be. He hates snow.
I know. That's the thing about you two Finnish. Oh, you and Giannis was the same way. You would think that these guys are from Finland, they would be used to cold, but these guys feel cold in the like if it drops below a certain temperature, like, oh, it's cold, it's cold. I'm like, what? I mean, I know I have more padding than you guys, but come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like if we say it's cold, it's like okay, then it goes like -20, and then we're like, okay, now it's really cold. We just say it's cold, but like we can handle it, you know?
No, you guys.
It's sort of like everyone complains,
and you'll be like,
yeah, but I mean,
on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like we say like it's cold when it's like 10 degrees or something Celsius, but then like even if it goes like -20, we're still like fine. We just say it's cold. Like even like now when I go to work, it's -15 Celsius. I don't even have a jacket on usually. I just go to the car and chill.
Well, it's not that far of a walk for you, but it has been a while. I mean, we kind of started talking. I kind of left you alone for a year. I was disappointed when you left, JQ. Even though I knew it was coming. You told me a month away before, and I was a little bit disappointed when you left. So I kind of just because you're my friend. We kind of did this all together. We've traveled. We've been involved in some great moments together. We've been involved in some some not so great moments too, but all in the same race, to be honest. And yeah, I gave you a year off. Like your dad is like, "Are you mad?" I was not mad. I was disappointed, but
Yeah.
I get it. Like I understand it. It's been a year. I was like, you know what? Let me talk to Max. He's doing these videos. I can see he's trying to do stuff again in RC. He has interest again. So I said, let's get him here on the, which I wasn't sure if he was because he was kind of in limbo. Do you want to do RC? Do you not? You got a real job. You want to go to school. You went to the army. You enjoyed that, it looks like. So yeah, I actually want to know, how did you enjoy the army?
Well, this is sort of like a thing that when I say now, I'm like, yeah, it was great. But if someone says you gotta go back, I would like, hell no. It's sort of like that kind of thing. But it was fun, and I'm really happy to have those experiences.
Yeah, it looked like you enjoyed it. I mean, you like I
Yeah.
thought you was gonna like earn guns and stuff after that. So I
Oh
mean, you
no.
really got to, yeah. But that's cool. We had the same thing in Bermuda, where you had to get drafted. I dodged it. I was a firefighter as well and worked in a prison office, so I didn't have to do it. But
Yeah.
it was mandatory. I don't think it's mandatory now. So, but it's 3 years. It's not 6 months like it is for
Oh.
Finland.
Yeah. Yeah. For us,
So
it kind of depends. For some people it's 6 months. For some it's a year. But yeah,
yeah, I mean, our
it was
regiment
super
in
fun.
Bermuda, we call it a regiment. It's more for, like, we would never defend Bermuda, obviously, but it's more something. I think it builds discipline for people that need it, and it really comes in handy like during storms and stuff like that, where they're sent out to help clean up or where they need extra security and stuff like that. So good stuff, man. You're working full time. You're working in a
Yeah.
factory or something like that. You was doing that
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. Just the basic like factory job. I was doing it already before the army, but I'm just going there, just getting some money. It's not a big deal. Just you know,
Right, like
trying
I
to do
told you.
something at least.
Right, because you are planning on going to school here this year, correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'll think about it at least. I try to like I don't know yet what I'm gonna do, but I'll definitely
Well,
apply.
well, like I told you, don't get caught up in the trap. Get there,
Oh
you're
yeah.
making
Yeah.
money. Next thing you know, you got two kids and you have to work there. So you're young. How old are you now?
20.
Oh, see, you're 20. Wow, the next time you go to America, when you go 21.
October. So yeah.
Yeah,
Next
we
time
can
if
go
we
to
go to
America and take you
DNC,
to strip clubs
yeah.
properly, you know, and you can drink and all that type of stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Uh,
Yeah.
hopefully we get to do that again. Probably not this year, but hopefully in 2022. So,
Yeah.
have you been keeping up with RC? I mean, these videos came out. What? I would say the very much JQ esque, but that's not hard not to be because I mean, you learned a lot from Joseph, and most I think you're more personable than Joseph, but in real life, you definitely are. But very JQ esque, but people's like, oh, it's like Jake, but it's like, I know you're trying to get away from the shadow of JQ as well. I understand that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see you doing these videos. What was the inspiration to do this?
Well, actually, I had the idea already, uh, like probably like when I joined AE. Actually, like even then, like when I joined AE, I bought some like what do you call the gimbals and stuff and mics and
Hmm.
stuff. So I wanted to do like track walks when I went to races and do like some daily catch up and stuff. But then due to Corona, I couldn't do anything. And then during the summer, I just said, yeah, I'll just practice, try to get my race program working. And then like when the winter comes, I'll buy a camera and all that stuff so I can make videos back at home. And then like I think like in September, Jakey was filming the how to tune your engine video.
Hmm.
And then like after that I was like, oh shit, like that's exactly what I was trying to do. So
Right.
it's not like it definitely looks like I copied him. And
Hmm.
our videos are very similar style, but that's just like because we think in similar ways in a lot of times. But what I really wanted to do different than him is keep the videos short, keep them accessible, and sort of have like because he's doing just like random videos. I wanted to make like a serious style.
Hmm.
Like I have the episode 1, 2, whatever. So people, if they see one video, they say, "Oh, this is like a series," so they watch all of them. That's
Okay.
sort of what I wanted to do.
Right. I get that. Shorter. JQ, he likes long stuff. When I would tell him,
Yeah,
hey, he's like, it doesn't matter if the podcast is 5 hours. I'm like, okay. He's doing a great job. We're going to talk about his latest video in the news here. But good stuff. I really enjoyed your video today, which we'll touch on about the is Nitro gonna die in Europe. And actually, I was talking to a buddy of mine after I watched this, and good stuff. AE, how are you liking your time at AE? Have you thought about doing some 10 scale because you do have the 10 scale there? You got Hatton in there. No 10 scale for you. And what's your thoughts on your 8 scale cars so far?
Well, yeah, about 10, I'll start with 10 scale. I have the B6.2. I don't have the four-wheel drive because in Finland, not many people run 10 scale off-road anymore. Mostly people run either touring cars or 8 scale. Even Joona
Okay.
hasn't run 10 scale in like a year. Uh, but well, he probably practices a bit, but
Okay.
like the tracks are now closed, so I haven't been able to run at all. Or they are not closed, but they're sort of like closed-ish. It's sort of like a gray area. But yeah, I haven't been running 10 scale. Uh, but then to 8 scale. So like at the start, I pretty much like after 2 or 3 times at the track, I was still in the military at that time. I was just on holiday. So
Mm-hmm.
like first 2 times were kind of like just learning everything. And like the third time around, I was already faster than when JQ was at the track. But then like that was like those conditions sort of suited me and the car the best. So it was kind of like I don't know what you call it, like a false feeling of like, oh, this is going really well. Then
Mm-hmm.
like after that, when I went to other tracks, I realized that like switching cars isn't just that easy because immediately I thought that it was gonna take like 2 months before I even get up to speed. And then when I saw like I was super fast right at the beginning, I thought like, oh, this is way too easy. And then like reality hit afterwards. But yeah, so sort of like uh, after that I started to test a lot of different kind of stuff and focused on just finding what I need to do with the car in different conditions, and that's
Mm-hmm.
sort of what I just like did the rest of the year. Now I think I have a pretty good picture of what every change in a car does, and that's like a good thing going forward. But like now until like the vaccines go out, it seems like we're not going to be racing anytime soon. So
I know, I know. It's a shame, man. I'm hoping Portugal happens in June.
yeah,
And I think I'll be there if it does. So let's see. One thing I gotta say, go Bucks. I am a Bucks fan. So we are in the Super Bowl this week. And it's the first time since 2002, so I'm excited. What I have to ask because you ran the JQ platform for so long. C Hub car, JQ's car is very C Hubbish. I was talking to Wally about it, right? He came from AE to now he's running the JQ car,
yeah,
and he's like, I'm not going back. I was like, why? And it's like, it's just more stable, because he came from pillow ball, and we know that the JQ car. One thing I'll say, the JQ car, it definitely is stable. You know what I mean? And it's good
yeah,
on certain type of rough tracks. It's so stable, people think it's just pushing, but it's a different way to drive the car. I agree. Even myself, coming from Mugen to JQ, was like, oh man, this car is hard to drive. But once I learned it, it was cool. What's been the biggest obstacle coming from C Hub to Pillow Bowl for you?
for me, I think the biggest obstacle was just finding the right balance between like steering and too much steering. Because with
Mm,
JQ, like I really like to run really low toe in because like I knew every time I steered the car, it would steer the same. With pillowable cars, you have more steering at certain points, but then you also have less steering at some point. So you
mm,
sort of feel like, yeah, I can run lower toe, but then when you do, you start having some issues. So that's sort of been the biggest hurdle to me because the steering is I need to learn the feeling of the car because I could with JQ I could always tune the car so that the front end would be kind of aggressive, but still on the track it was really easy to drive. With associate, I have to like make the both ends work together much better, and I
mm,
can't really play around with the setup as much. Like now when I've learned the car more, I can do
mhm.
lots of different stuff, but like at the start that was like the biggest thing. I think that was hardest.
I'm glad you say that because there's so many people out there that switch chassis every 2-3 months or jump team to team and all that type of stuff and say a car doesn't suit them. Here you are, 2018 winner of DNC Open Class, right? First time ever
Yeah.
racing in America. Junior European champion. Just you're a good driver. Let's put it this way. You're a really good driver. You've been driving for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's taken you time to learn a new car. Yes, you drove one platform for a very long time. I get that. But man, it's true. I think even top guys, fast guys have a learning curve. I mean, look at Cavallari, how long it took him to get up to speed with the S-Works. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
And
like Tessman, when he switched to X-ray, he was like a
yes.
backmarker at Neo. Like he looked awful. He looked
Oh, that's
like
why
some
they
guy
went to the
just made the main first time.
that's why they went to the J Concepts tires and JQ. You remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And JQ got. I know we're talking about JQ, but a lot of us are. That's how we know each other. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and then JQ got blamed for that. Like this is so funny. He just reported what happened, and he got like people just hated him for it. But if you did it now, I bet you people would be like,
Yeah.
all
This
right,
is because of lack of RC media. People are not used
yes,
to getting secrets
yes.
out there.
This is something that we talk about quite. We was talking about. We need independent media, like to stop. Like it's ridiculous. You know who talks about this a lot? Stephen Bass, Zach Ryan down in Australia. He wrote a good article about it, and yeah, we definitely need that, man. Independent media who ain't scared to go in there and tell what the story is. I'm getting better with that too. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna be welcome in every pit nowadays, but they should be. I mean, this tells the real story, doesn't it? I would say so. This is what we need, the real,
Yeah.
like what's going on at these races. It's unfortunate we won't be at DNC. All right, man. I say we go into the Manscaped news. What about you?
Yeah. Let's go
All
to
right,
that.
Max. So let me tell you something. We've been sponsored by Manscaped for about 6 months now. I remember when they first emailed, I thought it was a scam. I was like, what is this? But it turned out to be something real. I was shocked. So this part of the podcast is brought to you by manscaped.com. And Max, you know what? I'm pretty sure you need this in your life, the Lawnmower 3.0, because I'm looking at this mustache that you have right there. And it's looking very wild and unkempt. You know what I mean? We got to shave
Yeah.
this off or trim it up. So if that's wily and unkempt, down below is wily and unkempt. And you know what? You know what? Since I got my Lawnmower 3.0, dude, my wife used to do it down there before. And one time I nicked my nuts and it hurt so bad and it put me out of action for 2 weeks. I don't know if you ever nicked your nuts, dude, but it hurts like crazy. So I've been using this Lawnmower 3.0. It's got a light, it's waterproof, it has a charging station. You get replaceable blades. I haven't nicked my nuts yet. Or my wife hasn't nicked my nuts. And you know what she told me? Said it looks bigger too. So, our thing is we want guys to cut through the jungle to find their manhood. You can do that with the Lawnmower 3.0. Get the Manscaped kit. It comes with some Beluga. I believe they're called Beluga underwear. They're really nice, comfortable, super comfortable. And you get the balls deodorant and ball moisturizer and all these other little things that you can get specifically for your male parts. And I'm assuming females can use this as well. But I use the trimmer for my beard as well, and just little things like that. So it's a good, handy little thing, Max. And you know what?
Do you use
go
the
to
same one for both?
Yeah, it's mine. Why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? It's washable, so I rinse it under the
Oh, okay.
under the sink, under the water. But you know what, Max? If you wanted to get yourself a Lawnmower 3.0 kit, which I suggest you do, because I don't know if you got a girlfriend yet or not, you need to go to www.manscaped.com. Use the promo code no name in all caps, and you will save 20% off your order and get free shipping. So thank you to manscaped.com for bringing the Manscaped RC news. So Max, we don't have much news this week. I'm trying to bring up my notes.
Let me see what we have.
Where's my notes? I had them here. No, I don't.
Okay, the Thornhill is the first one, right?
Yes, let's talk about
The
this.
race at
So,
Thornhill.
Thornhill was this past weekend. Now, I think this is probably the best undercover race under a roof track in the world. I know we sometimes talked about we don't like the surface and all that type of stuff, but this is a great racetrack. You can race all year round. It's under a roof. It's just like a mecca for RC in my opinion. So they had a 1-day race and they got immense participants and entries. I think Tebow went on. Can we bring up
Yeah.
the while I'm looking for my notes, is it any way you can bring up the live RC stuff?
Yeah, we have that. Yeah, I
One
think
second.
I have it here. Tebow was there. He won Nitro and TQ'd Nitro, but Ebuggy
Oh
he
my gosh.
finished like fifth or something. Yeah, fifth.
And who finished fifth in Ebuggy?
Tebow finished
Okay.
fifth in Ebuggy. Like Tyler Hooks and I think Jared Wiggins won it. Oh no, Brandon Rose might have won it.
Yeah, he goes to this track a lot. It's hard to beat him.
Yeah,
But Tebow, man, I've said this for the last year, and he has rejuvenated his career, man. He has
yeah,
rejuvenated his career. He's doing well, and Tekno has the best lineup going into eight. You're gonna see. I think you're gonna see at every big race this year, 4 Teknos at least in every A main. That's
yeah.
incredible.
They have a really good team right now. But
Yep, they
also one
do.
thing I wanted to say about Tebow is it's sort of weird that like I've seen like I think two or three like smaller races, like 1 day races. He's
Hmm.
finished like outside the podium. Like
Yes, he
that's
up
like
at
crazy to me.
Hobbyplex, dude.
Yeah,
Hobbyplex is his
he
kryptonite.
finishes like constantly he finishes outside the podium at these small races, then goes to a big race like SIC and wins Struggy. Like what's
Well,
going on?
see, Hobbyplex is in Omaha. It's an indoor track. Ashton used to run there. Ashton runs there, and the
Yeah,
Fullers run there. So that's how I know it. And it's just one of those tracks. It's like going to OCRC. There's always somebody that's super fast there that knows that track.
yeah,
Well, the locals that go there, they're fast. And not to take anything from like Mason Fuller. He's getting really fast. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But
yeah. He's fast.
Seth Van Dalen, Mason Fuller, those guys are super faster. Wiggins is faster. And I think Tebow goes there to test himself because he knows it's not going to be easy. And he goes there and he's been beaten a few times there. And I mean straight up beaten. No breakdowns,
Yeah,
no nothing. So it's pretty good. But I mean an impressive race. 276 entries, 169 bodies, people. For a 1 day race, that's super impressive.
yeah.
Looks like people had
That's crazy.
fun. And yeah, Tebow wins it, and he's just getting ready. I see Tebow's built on a new car for DNC. They're having JBRL this weekend. This I know we're going off topic, but this is something that uh, that DNC has not had for a long time, and that's a warm up race. So they're supposed to have a warm up
Yeah.
race 2 weekends ago, but now they're doing JBRL at
Is
Thunder Alley. So
is
people
the
are gonna
race
treat
at
this
Thunder
like
Alley too?
yes, it's at Thunder Alley.
Oh,
So it's gonna be interesting to see like the first warm up race in a long time for DNC. So I'm predicting that JBRL might be pretty packed. I'm actually shocked that Tebow isn't there, but I'm guessing they're gonna be out there. I think the track is gonna be open to practice on too. So I'm guessing they're gonna be out there
yeah,
next week or like next weekend. So it's interesting to see. It's gonna be. Unfortunately, we're not gonna see the Euro guys, which is why I really like DNC because of the European
yeah,
racers. But what we will see, Max, is a lot of these young Midwest racers getting in this main and coming after these guys. I think we'll see a lot
yeah,
of young names we haven't seen fighting for positions. In e-buggy, truggy, and nitro buggy. So I'll be watching. I'll be watching very carefully. All right. X-Ray has released a new car. That's no surprise. They release a new car every year. You can do that when you own the factory. So, what do
yeah.
you
And I
think
think
about
they
this,
have to
Max?
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they released a new car because the EU support they get sort of like makes them to like they need to they sort of get the support because they say they what do you mean innovate the sport sort of, so that's
Mm.
why they release new cars every year. I think I'm not obviously sure, but would make sense. But yeah, this new car I'm really hoping that there's active diffs in it
Well,
because
explain that to me. Active diffs. How
so
does that work?
it's sort of like a diff that when you put more torque in it, it starts to lock up. There's sort of like plates that expand so that it
Oh, like
locks
a
up.
like a tactical diffs or whatever they used to call them back in the day.
Yeah, yeah. It's like Kyosho has them,
Mm.
and they have a different type of design. But like X-Ray had them like way back, but now I looked at their website and they are releasing active diffs for their two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive 10 scale as well. They haven't
Mm-hmm.
released them, but you can see from their like back order catalog or something like they are doing it. It says it's 4 weeks away, but I don't
What's
know.
the benefit of this? Can you explain it so our listeners can understand what would be the benefit of active diffs? Besides, we know that's gonna
Okay,
lock up the diffs, but what does that equate to on the track?
okay, so I'm gonna keep this short, but I have actually a video about this if like people want to see it. But
All right, let's plug that.
basically,
What's your YouTube channel? Max Mort.
oh yeah,
And what's
yeah,
the
just
channel called? And what's the video called?
the video is I think I speak about this in the differentials part two. It's
Okay.
the like second episode of the series.
Right. Go
But yeah,
to
I talk about
YouTube
this
and
there.
follow Max on YouTube. It's
Yeah,
just Max Mort, right? And
yeah,
also
yeah.
on Facebook, follow him so you get your stuff there. Let's get him some subs, people, and get him some views. Try to grow his YouTube channel.
Yeah, yeah, but basically it's pretty much that with now we sort of have to balance the diff that it's we want the diff to be open when you're off throttle so that the inside wheel doesn't turn and the outside wheel turns more. And then we
Mm.
want the diff to not have any difference in the tires when you go on throttle because you want to go forward. But now with the oils we're kind of balancing those two out. So with the like active diff, we could have the best of both worlds where when you go into a corner, you're off power, the diff is open, so your car turns a lot. Then when you go on power, the diff locks up, and then you have a lot of traction.
So does this mean lighter oils or no oils, or how does this work?
No
It's been a long
oils.
time. No oils.
Yeah, usually no oils, but you
So how
can
would
use
you
oils in
tune?
these.
How would you tune? You wouldn't. How would you tune your car like we would tune the diff
You
oils,
tune
or you
the
wouldn't?
you tune the plates in there. I mean, you can have you can have oils in there
Mhm.
also, but if you don't have oils, you can tune the plates so that they catch earlier or later, or then they have some preload, so it's sort of already a bit like resisting.
Sweet. That's pretty interesting stuff right there. Very
Yeah,
interesting.
that's why I'm
Innovation.
excited if they have it.
Yeah. Innovation. I hope we do. We need some more innovation like that in RC. So
Yeah,
good stuff. Let's see what X-ray. I would really like to. I don't know if how his English is, but maybe it has to be Martin Bayer or the Hootie brother. I would love to get them on the podcast to talk. Like
yeah.
because
I think Mario pretty. I think he would be the best one to have. I think.
yeah, I'd have to see if I can get him on and Martin Bayer. To be honest, both have
Yeah.
great stories to talk. All right, Nemo Raceway. I see Nemo Raceway released a promo video. I think Scott actually had this track. The Scott had this piece of land and was gonna build a track there with the
Oh
JQ
yeah.
guys. Yeah, at first. And I remember when he showed me this, and now to see what John and Nemo have done to this track, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, it's oiled. They showed it there was like running in rain, not rain, but a wet surface.
Yeah, but when
And
you
it's
oil it, you
looking
can do that.
I know.
It doesn't get muddy. It's pretty fun.
I know. I think it's probably one of the best things you can do for a track is oil the surface. Like
Yeah.
I'm a believer in that. They're looking for events and stuff like that. I like that. They're promoting things. I know RCGP tried to go there, but it didn't work out. I guess it was too soon. But I mean, I think that's probably the premier track in England right now. I would say they're definitely going
Yeah.
for it, and it looks like Billy is doing the same thing in Texas, like open up another
Oh
a
wow.
badass track. So we shall see what Nemo is gonna do with that. So good stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
JQ's
they have
latest.
money to put in it, so it's really good. Like
I know.
that's the thing about it, most tracks don't have money to put in it, and Nemo like
Yes.
kind of has it, so they can make it like really good. And that's what makes the sport bigger as well. Like people to
Yes.
put money in tracks instead of cars.
Yes. And by I mean he puts money in both in his brand,
Yeah, but I mean, like
Nemo,
now
and
it's good because he puts money in tracks, especially.
yeah, good stuff. I need to get John on this podcast too. I did talk to him about a year ago, but he's a busy man. But he has
Oh yeah,
interesting stories too. So many people to interview, man. A lot of these
yeah,
Europeans and stuff that I want to get to as well. All right, JQ's latest video, all about federations. I give EFRA a lot of props because they are the best organization out there. And what I mean best, they're better than IFMAR, they're better than ROAR,
yeah.
they're better than
The
FEMCA
competition
and
isn't
all that.
too good.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking about federations that don't do nothing. Sorry, they do something. They do things. I'm sorry, but it's true what JQ kind of said. I mean, they released that video. We got all excited, and it was all about a logo. And you know what Efra needs? Honestly, like this is gonna be sound. Efra needs somebody like JQ in there. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know how long they would last because he just works really. But they need people like that. We need to. There is no federation in America. It's just old guys who perform that put on a race once a year and all that type of stuff and get to travel and get to be a part of IFMAR and have a say. People, I mean, there is no type of governing federation at all in America. We know that, like, maybe they need a whole new federation, like Norca versus Raw. But AFRA, I think the president, the young Javier, the Spanish guy, I think he's very proactive and very he wants to do things. But see, there's a chain of command, and it's I think what's going on with the federations is a prime example of what's going on in our actual industry. There's an old thinking, an old school of people, old school thought, old boys club, I like to call it, that don't want things to change in RC because they have their piece of the pie, they're happy with their piece of the pie, and they don't want anybody else to get more pie than them. When they don't realize that if somebody else gets more pie, they get more pie.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's exactly what happened. Like in the video, they said the threat of ETS or EOS. That's
Yeah.
exactly like they don't want the pie to be shared. They just like they don't want to grow the pie. They just want to have their little pie on their own.
And here's
That's
the
like
thing, AFRA is really good, and like, I mean, every individual country has their association that reports to AFRA, and all that. It's good. Like, why not piggyback off some of these races? You know what I mean? Why not
yeah,
make it? Like, I don't get it, man. But it's that old school thinking. We want it all. Like, this is why my brain, man. We need to get new, fresh blood in there that can think and can be in the 20. Like, we started the vote for Lefty thing for IFMAR, right? JQ and I,
yeah,
and like people loved it. Like, I mean, like, where can we vote? People want better. I know this. Like, I can hear it in people when they talk. They want it better. They want things better. People are not happy. People are starting to learn that RC can be better. You know what I mean? And man, I think JQ hit the nail on the head with that one. I think he's hit the nail on the head with all three of his videos. The Gandhi messaged me, JQ, it's crazy. RC isn't dying. It's doing great. Revelations is making money and this and this. I said, Greg, you're looking at it from SoCal. It's always big there. It's always going to be big there. Like, we're looking at it from around the world and how it's shrinking, like, and just from numbers, like trying to get people in. Like, the 8-scale market is just saturated with companies. Like, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
it's rare that you get somebody that pays retail nowadays. So, you know what I mean? There are people still out there that pay retail. I don't know, man. I don't know what the way forward is. I think we just kind of have to get rid of everybody and bring all new people in. Because you can't just do it with one person, man. You just can't do it with
you
one
mean the
person.
EFRA? I
I
thought you
think
meant
EFRA
like
and
the whole
IFMAR
RC
we should
community.
just disband all the people there. Keep the good ones, like the guy Javier and all that type of stuff. But get all these, like, if you want to get with the times, then cool, you can stay there. But things have to change. We're still doing things the same as it's been done in the 80s. Like, come on.
Yeah, I think
Like,
I think the structure just need to change. Like now the structure is like full on bureaucracy. I think the structure should be so that it's like there's someone like taking charge. Someone is like, let's say like in a country it would be the executive branch. Like someone needs to be that, and they need to take like responsibility for the actions. And then if they shit the bed, then you got changed. Someone else goes there. But now
yeah.
it's just like nothing gets done, and everyone gets a pat on the back because nothing bad happened.
And everybody gets to go to trips and get it all paid for and live in, and,
Yeah,
be all nice and
yeah.
10-day
That'd
vacations.
be actually great if they actually did something good as well. But when they do nothing, it's like pointless.
It's like politics. It's like I wish politicians got graded on their actual job, like, and what they did for the people. And then if you
Yeah,
didn't if they didn't live up to snuff, you can get them out. Well, we kind of have to do that with Afra. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know it's not easy.
yeah, yeah,
In fact, we want to talk. We're going to talk about this in a bit. Um, it's not easy. Change is not easy. Like we always, like I always
yeah,
say, for change to happen, change has to happen. But man, sometimes you just got to kick people in the ass. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And I'm not saying that the people in there are not valuable, right? But I think there's people that won't change, but it's just being succumbed by people who have been there for years. Tradition
Yeah.
is stop and change. When the rest of the world's like in the 2020 and 2000s, RC's still thinking like it was in the 90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we need to change, man. And go check out the video if you guys haven't seen it. It's part 3. I'm sure he's working on some other videos. I haven't talked to Joseph much this
Well,
week.
one thing that made this video really great is the fact that I think here he wasn't actually like being like too much of an asshole. He was just pointing out facts. He was reading their own documents, and he even like provided solutions at the end,
Hmm.
which was that was like the best part of the video. Like he
Yeah,
already like he gave them a plan for free. People get paid to make that plan, and he gave it for free for them. So
yeah,
like if they just
exactly.
follow that, they would like if they just take that JQ's video and do like what the plan says in the end, already then they would be much better off. Like
I know.
like the
I
logo thing,
remember.
yeah, cool, make a new logo, but like
Yeah,
do
all
actually
that to
something
make a
else as
logo,
well.
dude. All that to make a
Yeah.
logo. I remember when Joseph went to I think he did the virtual meeting, and he was just like, oh, these, Joseph. And I said, what's wrong if you just like message me? These fucking people, they don't know what they're talking about. And I said, what happened? Afro meeting, they don't have a clue. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but unfortunate, man. Well, at least Afro's doing something. Raw is non-existent. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think American racing desperately needs a federation that's gonna put in some work again. It's kind of like
Yeah.
the Wild West there in for
It's kind of
RC.
like what boxing is like it used to be, you know? Like like there could be 5 world champions at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah. That's a good example, actually.
Yeah.
And I just think like it would be so like I think back to when Raw had Raw versus Norca. I was kind of reading about this in the magazines. Wasn't traveling to America. This was before your time, but they have a
Yeah.
rival federation that was like gave them competition. I think America needs this. I think they need to have 2, so they can
Yeah.
actually be on their toes and do some work. So who knows? I don't know. We're beating we're beating a dead horse on this one because we all know I believe Raw wants to do the right thing, but also someone needs to get paid to do it. There should be a full-time
Yeah.
position for that.
That's the issue in America. There's sort of like a culture of having companies, and when Roar is a federation, it sort of like kills all the like activity in there. In Europe, like federations are a basic deal, so like even if it is a federation, people still work for it just for the principle. But in
Right,
America, it's sort of like a different culture, so it doesn't work the same way. They need
right,
competition to succeed.
because people just like, oh, I'm not gonna pay a raw fee when I could just go to this race, and
Yeah,
then like I get it, I understand it, All right, let's talk about your video that dropped last night. The new
yeah,
EU regulations about nitro comes into effect. It has come into effect. It is now the 4th of
yeah.
February. So, we talked about this. I'm just shocked. Like Afro doesn't have a solution for this yet. I mean, they have had a few months to get
They
this
have had two
going.
years. They have had two
Really?
years. Yes,
So
this was passed in 2019.
really? So now it's
Yeah,
just become. I just heard about it about maybe 4 or 5 months ago. I think.
yeah, but the bill that was introduced was made in 2019, and the latest clarifications was in November. But they could have easily got the clarifications over 2 years ago. Like in 2 years ago, it said nitromethane would be limited to 16%. I have the EU thing out there if someone wants to read it, but like you can go. I think EFRA letter has the EU regulation like number in there, but it's from 2019.
But here's the funny thing. At first, when I thought this, I thought it was environmental, and I was like, we can't make that much carbon. What is it? We can't
Yeah,
have that big of a carbon footprint. But
yeah,
then I saw it was to terrorism, and I was just like,
yeah.
what the hell?
Yeah, it's
My buddy
nitromethane is explosive.
Nitro Kurt has this big theory anyway. He's like, Kenan, I'm telling you, Horizon and Traxxas, they're trying to screw Nitro and make it unpopular and kill it so they can press their Ebuggy agenda. I know it. That's Nitro Kurt. But he's not too far off. It seems like
Yeah,
they're trying to kill Nitro here in the EU. Uh, but I did talk to my buddy because running 16% is something not
yeah, but
unusual. I mean, in the on road,
it's actually 12.
okay, so it's 12.
It's
Right.
16 by mass, 12 by volume, and we
Okay,
measure it
so
by
that's
volume.
even less. But 16 is
Yeah.
16% is used in on-road,
Yeah,
especially in
16 is
GT.
okay. 16 is okay, but 12 is not. That's
Right.
the issue about this.
So what I don't understand her is, okay, why not go? Why not? Why hasn't EFRA gone to these people like they said they were gonna do it? When you get an EFRA license, all right, you're gonna run nitro. Okay, well, it's gonna cost you an extra $25, $20 for the year. Here's your nitro license to purchase. But
Yeah.
see, then to purchase, where do you purchase from for stores? It's just it's either got to be overruled or we're gonna have to do some innovation, which can be done. People's like power. Well, I know my buddy. I actually was talking to him because I think he's an engine guru, and I'm seeing him do this for his GT car. Scoop the head out, the head button, so you get more compression. Not just lower it, but scoop the head button out because his goal was to get 7-minute qualifiers in GT without pitting.
Yeah.
So he needed 16% to get the runtime. So he was telling me it's lots of things. He's like, Keenan, it's the oil. He said you can get more power just from the bright oil and using less of it and all this type of stuff. He's like super
Yeah.
science nerd. So speaking of engine gurus, I have to say, rest in peace, Art Kabono. He passed away. I saw that. He was the guru when it came to nitro. I think he passed away. I just saw it. Yeah, he passed away today. I saw Maxi um, posted it up. So I don't know, man. What's your thoughts on this, Max? What's your thoughts?
Um, it's sort of like I think I don't think this law is like a death sentence or anything. I think the license will be pretty easy to get. It'll just make things more complicated for the stores because they have to
Mm-hmm.
get a license to sell it, and to sell it is different than to own it. I think I'm not 100%
Okay.
sure, but I think the selling part is what might be more difficult. Uh,
Okay.
because we had to have a license to own 30% nitro already in 2013.
I didn't
So
know
we
that.
can, yeah, it was like we were kind of lucky because we were using 25 in Europe. So the law made it so that we could use like 26% by volume. So we're kind of lucky there. Now we are caught by the new regulations.
Do you only use
But yeah,
25% there?
yeah,
Is it
we I don't
regulations?
think, yeah, we can't use 30. I think, but pretty much like I already said this in the video, but this is not gonna be like the death sentence of nitro. And I think a lot of people sort of misunderstood what I said in the video. My point
Mm-hmm.
of the video was just like this is like what can happen. Like this is sort of the warning sign. Like, hey guys,
Yes.
next time, what if nitromethane has some like very bad results in your health and somehow they ban nitromethane or that they ban just methanol what's in the gas or whatever, like they just find out something new and then
Mm-hmm.
they just ban it altogether. That's why I'm kind of like rooting for the what Maxima had, like the bioless fuel, like other brands
Right.
to actually go that way.
Right. Ethanol or something they use, I believe,
Yeah,
too.
ethanol, like bioethanol, and it was like without nitro. And the guy said it had more power, but it was sort of it had like less ignition,
Mm-hmm.
so it would initially like it would have to build up a bit. But he said he had more power, like ultimate power is better.
Okay. Good stuff, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, and also like when you crack open a can of Maxima fuel, it smells significantly different from any other nitro fuel I've smelled before in my life.
yeah.
So
But their
once somebody
normal fuel
open,
is still nitro, but
right, but I remember their off-road stuff. I guess we're talking about the
yeah,
off-road stuff. Like
yeah,
Salty Joe likes it, and I remember he opened up a can in the pits that Yuri went PNB, and it like just permeated the whole pits. That's how strong it was.
yeah,
A lot of people are like, oh, what's all this nitro? Like nitro is the glory, and it's over, and e-bug is coming, and all this type of stuff. Look, I have nothing against e-buggy. JQ doesn't like e-buggy, even though he's really good at it. I know you don't really race much. Like people have to understand, like you guys don't race e-buggy much. Like I got a lot of people asking, oh,
yeah.
you need to set up for e-bug. I'm like, man, you don't understand. Like I only seen JQ and Max run e-buggy in America. To be
To
honest,
me,
like
to
you know what
me,
I
to
mean when
me,
they
it's
come.
yeah. To me, it's really odd when people ask, "What's the setup for e-buggy?" It's just the same setup as nitro.
Maybe a
Like
little
there's,
heavy on the diffs and
yeah, like
shocks.
yeah, like only thing you might need to do is stiffer springs, stiffer shock coils, and maybe a stiffer roll bar.
Yeah.
Not like that's the only things you pretty much need to do.
Well, you know, we can go 15 minutes on a battery and we can make quick change and all this type of stuff. I said, yeah, that's all fine. That's cool. But let's be honest. the hardest race in the world, the most prestigious and hardest race to win in the world is the IFMAR 8 scale Nitro Buggy Championships. There's only been
Yeah.
one person to ever win that twice. No, don't get it twisted. I think there should be an E-Buggy World Championships now. I think it should be
Yeah,
held along
definitely.
with the Worlds, to be honest, with
Yeah.
the World Championships, right? The issue I see is you guys have an E-Buggy Euros. It gets pretty packed. It's pretty, I would say it's pretty prestigious there as well. In America, they
Yeah.
have the E-Nets. Now, they've moved the E-Nets so many different places. They moved it out east last year, thought it would get packed. I think they maybe had 56 participants, 50 to 70 participants.
Yeah. It's kind of like a dead race there.
You know, it's like the numbers don't lie. I mean, okay, I don't like how you have to get into the nitro fuel nets, by signing up, but
Yeah.
literally they put the signups for fuel nets on, and that's 200. I think it's like 270 entries. I think maybe less, maybe 225. I don't know. I don't know exactly. But
Yeah.
in 10
Over 200.
in 10 minutes, that shit sold out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it goes to show, man, people just like it. I think I have nothing against eBug. I think it's a great way for people to get into RC, and they
Yes.
should do it. And it should be heard. And I like e-truggy and all that type of stuff. But
Um, mm.
I like e-truggy. It's getting big.
I don't care about e-truck. I just think truggies.
No, see, I like truggy too, but I know
Well,
you guys don't. Yeah, you don't like truggy so much. You didn't even drive it at P&B, and I got so mad at you that year. I
well,
was
that
like,
was
drive
because
the
my air
thing.
filter came off.
Uh,
I had my
uh,
engine like went to shit.
yeah. I just think like when you start a nitro engine, it just attracts people right away. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, and it's not only the sound or the smell or the whatever night. It's the way you drive the car is different to an e-buggy.
Hmm.
With e-buggy, you don't have the same throttle control. You have always have the brakes. You don't with nitro. The driving is much more like it's not easier, but it's just like much more natural and
Corner
like
speed.
it feels like you're driving a race car. Like with
Yeah.
e-buggy, it feels like you're driving a toy. That's just
Well,
like how I feel. That's why I don't
well, we.
like it as much. I think e-buggy is still a great glass, and we
Hmm.
should definitely have it around. And if we can, we should make it more enjoyable. And also, what you said, it's the perfect entry level class to 8 scale. Like everyone should start with e-buggy, and then if they really like 8 scale, they just get a nitro car. That's how I feel it should be.
I'm gonna ask. I think we should ask Nitro Kurt about what his feelings on e-buggy is again one day. Yeah, we got accused of that. I have nothing against e-buggy. I just think e-buggy. I see too many fast e-buggy drivers out there and truggy drivers, and their nitro buggy results are way worse. And that tells me
Yeah.
you need to focus on your nitro buggy. I think if you drive your nitro buggy more, you will be an overall faster racer.
Yes,
So
yes,
that's
but I
my
mean,
opinion.
it's not about hate for e-buggy. If you run e-buggy, you say, hey, I don't have a mechanic, and I mean that it just makes my life much easier. Then yeah,
I understand
definitely
that.
run e-buggy. Like yeah, that's definitely understandable. It's not about e-buggy. Like it's not the same as when me and JQ say like chuggy should go away.
Yeah.
E-buggy is definitely not that. E-buggy should stay, but it doesn't have the same position as Nitro 8 scale. I think,
No, I
that's
don't
like
think
how
so.
I feel. Yeah.
I don't think so either. And
Yeah,
so
that's why
people
your
don't think
slogan is so good. It's like perfect slogan because
what
e-bug is
e-buggy pays the
perfect
bills.
and yeah, and
Oh,
nitro is the glory. Yeah,
yeah, I agree.
just like that's just like a perfect slogan.
I agree. I actually got the e-buggy pays the bills from my boy Kendrick because I kept saying nitrous the glory, and he goes
Yeah,
e-buggy pays the bills, and I said I like that, and
yeah,
it stuck. Trust me, I want it to grow. I want it to be big. I think there should be a worlds. But
yeah,
I think it just like Truggy. I think it breeds false speed. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Just breeds false speed, and people get comfortable with that. And then they got a nitro car, and they're just like, I can't drive it. Well, because you got to drive it
yeah,
differently.
yeah.
All right. I think that's all of our RC news for this week, Mike. Mike, why am I calling
Uh,
you Mike? Max.
what about
Um,
the Mayako release? Should we talk about it now?
we can talk about that because you something that you was interested in. I saw you defending it on the post.
Yeah,
Their business model, membership. I don't know all the what's gonna happen, but I'm guessing you pay a
yeah,
membership and then you get a discount on a buggy, I guess, and parts. And
yeah. I don't know about the discount part. I don't think that's that good. But I
right,
the major point I sort of wanted to say about this is JQ releases 2 videos saying how RC is dying, something
Hmm.
needs to change. Then there comes a brand out with something like new, and then
Yeah.
everyone just like just says, "Oh, these are clowns and whatever." Like,
Yeah, it's you know what it is. It's like people like me. They see another chassis car company and they're like, "We're already oversaturated," right? But I'm like,
yeah,
let's hold on. Let's see what these people have to say first. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Before we
like
judge them.
I don't care like what brand you are, where you come from. I think this like it seems like it's a Japanese brand or something because they
Hmm.
have all the Japanese in there.
Right.
But like I don't really care what you do. If you do it well, it's good, you know?
Yeah.
Like like let's say like Tekno, like even when I was running JQ, there's also like a JQ Tekno rivalry. They're
Hmm.
doing a good stuff. It's good stuff now, so I think they should stay. And JQ has always said they should stay. But
Yeah.
there's some brands that don't do good things, and those are the brands that are not like improving the sport. So I think we
Right.
should see every brand out before like judging, like especially when some brand tries something new. Like
Exactly.
that's when we should especially see something happening.
What like change to happen, change actually has to happen. And we're
Yeah,
so reluctant to change in RC.
yeah,
Just as
and
people, like just as people, we're so bred to do that. And we can go back to the whole federations and all, but it's the
yeah,
industry, man. The industry and
yeah,
the illusion that we've created of you can be a pro driver. You know what I mean? Or I think what it comes down to is that like me and you, like I can go out there and pretty much have the exact same setup as Ryan Mayfield if I wanted to. Maybe I
yeah,
might not have his modified engine. Maybe he has some, you know what I mean? Maybe he has a different type of engine for himself. I'm not saying that he does, but you know,
yeah,
people can do that. You can also socialize with these drivers. They're like one of the guys and all that type of stuff. And that's a good thing about RC.
yeah,
But it's also one of the things that creates illusions. And when we say
yeah,
things like we need to have more professional drivers and all that type of stuff and change, man, just change. I watch some of the comments too. I kind of keep my comments on this because, you know, like they're sponsoring the podcast. So I kind of have to keep what I say to a certain bit. But why not? Why not a membership come in and see what they have to say? Maybe they're
yeah,
doing things different. I like that they're focusing on quality, not quantity. Because I did that.
yeah,
I've done that before. Like you can have everybody on the team 1 year, 1 in 2 months, and then 2 months later you're down to nothing because you know you sponsor everybody and maybe they don't look the car, they don't understand how to use the car properly, and next thing you know, like you know, then you know. In fact, there's a blog that I dropped today. It's not mine. It's from my buddy Brian Martinek, and it's all about his adventure with a JQ car that he bought used from somebody. And he showed me every mistake that this person has made, and I love this. And he just is like, I can't believe this guy, he's got, and he said this car doesn't suit him. I can't believe this guy was a team driver because it's just so much wrong with
yeah.
this car.
Yeah, I've
And I
I've
see that
rebuilt a
over
few
and
guys'
over again.
cars here. Yeah, I
Yeah.
rebuilt a few people's cars in the past as well. I think that one car I rebuilt, it had the rear arm mounts backwards, it had the engine mounts backwards, it somehow had the center diff mount built wrong as well. Like pretty much everything you could build wrong, it was built wrong.
It's
And
weird,
this
man.
this
It's
is
weird.
very common, and it's not only about JQ, it's every brand. I've seen
Yes.
people run associated cars that are built like totally wrong.
They
So
just want setups. I want a setup. Is your car
yeah,
set? Is your car built properly?
yeah,
You
yeah, and
know?
also endpoint adjustment. That's oh my god. Every single time people come to me and complain, I need more steering. I check their endpoints first. Without fail, every time they've had too little steering on the endpoint.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. So Mayako membership, yeah, let's hear them out. I'm
Yeah,
sure they're gonna drop another video and
yeah,
stuff her coming out, and let's see what their plan is.
yeah.
And
And also,
give it a
let me be
chance.
clear. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But let me be clear that I don't think like their plan seems like extraordinary or great or whatever. But the thing about it, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, like if Mayako comes out and says, "Oh, we're gonna sell cars and give sponsorships and do the same thing as everyone else," I'd be here and trashing them because that's
Yeah,
nothing we
yeah,
need.
yeah. We're
But because they're
feeding
doing
the
something
business.
different, yeah, they're doing something different. I'm like, yeah, let's see them out. If they suck, then maybe I come here and say that they suck.
That's all.
Who
That's
knows?
all. But
Yeah,
with the thought that's going into their promotion, I don't think they're gonna suck. So
yeah,
it's gonna be
yeah.
interesting to
I don't
see.
know.
We don't
Yeah,
know. We
definitely.
don't know till we get product. We don't
Yeah,
even know to what we see something. So we're all waiting
yeah,
for that. All right, I think that's all we have today, Max, for news. We kind of went overboard on that, but that's fine. I knew we was gonna talk quite a lot. So
yeah,
um I say we should go into our Beach RC questions. What about you?
yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna enter the Beach RC bench racing Q&A.
BeachRC.com, the racer's one-stop online hobby shop. Choose from all the popular brands and variety in stock with super fast shipping and great customer service. BeachRC.com still has the local hobby shop feel with all the benefits of the internet. BeachRC.com is the exclusive distributor for Ultimate Racing, JQ Racing, Pro Circuit Racing Tires, Nitro Lux Fuels, and Assault RC Performance products. So fill up your cart and check out at BeachRC.com today.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Beach RC. You like that, Max? You like? I did. I made that myself.
Yeah.
I'm proud of that. Thank you, Beach RC, for supporting the podcast. I mean, Brent has supported us for a long time. He's a good friend of mine. He's gonna make some cool. We're getting some Jake. I'm sorry, No Name RC podcast shirts made. We're gonna have some different colors hopefully soon. And yeah, I just thank him for his support. We do have an affiliate link for Beach RC people. If you can use it, it really helps us. Remember, they are a brick and mortar hobby shop doing the right things. They put a lot of money back into RC racing, and they got the My RC Box Club going. Good things. Brent is super busy. I was talking to him the other day. Good dude. So, welcome to the Beach RC Bench Racing Q&A, Max. Thank you for coming on. This is your specialty, setup. You've learned a lot in your years of RC, and you learned a lot from Joseph. So, and you learned a lot
Thanks.
of stuff on your own. So that's good too. We have a couple of statements. Just want to shout out Justin Huglin. I say I don't have much questions right now. Just pumped to get back racing outdoors. It's cold in Colorado. I've got literally engines ready for some fuel. Yeah, man, that's what's up. Guys are ready to run. I'm telling you. Phil Fernandez. Now, this is a question. We are just talking about Ebuggy and Nitro, and Phil wants to know what features in the radio do you change in Ebuggy and Nitro? A lot.
I don't
I don't
change
change
the
anything.
features a lot, but I do have like I use the if you checked out my latest video on servos, I talk about the speed of the servo, and you can also use this in electric. So when I drove e-buggy, I actually slowed down the throttle quite a lot because usually when I race e-buggy, it's always at the race where I also race nitro. So it might be really difficult to sort of switch between because e-buggy has so much more power. So even though I could get better lap times with more power, I wanted to like I don't really care about e-buggy. I just running for track time. So I wanted to keep the feel of the nitro car still there over the e-buggy heats. So I slowed down the throttle quite a lot. And if you are driving on a low grip track or you feel like you just really have too much power, this is a very easy way to like make the throttle band better. You can make it so that only the start of the throttle band is slower. But yeah, well, for steering, I use the same for both electric and nitro. And yeah, even nitro, I slow down the throttle servo. But yeah,
Are you
usually,
using Expo or are you using I'm
no,
not
no,
Expo.
the
The
speed
adjustment,
function.
the
Yeah,
speed
the curve.
function.
I don't use the curve because
Okay, no
the
curve.
issue with the curve is it's because it is like a curve like this,
Hmm.
so here at the beginning of the curve it's really slow and then it picks up. So if you really like to drive on the halfway range, then when you go up from there it's really aggressive. So
Mm.
most of the time we are not like tapping on the like start range because the throttle like lever is so short, so we usually on like the mid range. So that makes it so that when you lift off the throttle and go back, it's less, and then when you like push more, it's like exponentially more. So that's like the issue
Mm.
why I don't use the curve function. You can make like different type of curves. I've tried that. I never could make it to work, and nowadays I just only use the speed function. I like it that way
Okay.
better. And you can have the speed be slower at the end or slow at the start. But yeah, the speed is much better for me at least. But I
Okay.
use
And
it. Yeah, go ahead.
what radio are you running?
Oh yeah, someone asked that as well. I saw.
Yeah.
I run Sanva, And
What? Which one? The
I
M17 or M12?
I have M12S, but I
Hmm.
think like you should buy the M17 as that's the
Okay.
newest one. But like being honest, if you're gonna buy a radio, like there's pretty much no reason to not buy a Sandva radio. Like
Mm.
if you don't have the money for the M17, buy the I think it's M44 or
Yeah,
whatever. It's like M4 or M44 or something like that. It's a
MT44
like
or something.
yeah, something like that. That's a really good radio. And I haven't tried other radios in a long time, but looking at my friends who have other radios, I think the MT44 is better than any other brand's top end radio at the moment.
Interesting, interesting.
Yeah,
You know,
but Sanva is like Sanva for the win. I'm not sponsored or anything. I don't think
right.
anyone is sponsored by Sanva, but they are
No, I
just
don't think
like they're
anybody
just
is
better
either.
than anyone. Yeah, they're just better.
Yeah. I remember Mike Hill, and one thing people have to realize is radios wear out too. And you have to replace
Huh?
them.
Oh
Radios
yeah,
can wear
yeah,
out too.
definitely. Yes. I run mine usually for 2 years. This one I've had for quite a long time, but now with the COVID, I'm not getting a new one because I'll get a new one if the lockdown stop because
I need to get a new
it's not gonna
radio
look like we're
myself
gonna
too.
racing.
I need
Yeah,
to get a new radio. Actually, that was Danny Newman's question about preferred radio of choice, like
yeah,
why, and you answered that. I don't have a preferred. I
yeah.
don't race enough to know. Frank Page wants to know. Not many questions. He's just cold, and it's 20 to 30 degrees here, and I'm waiting to burn some nitro with my JQ Nitro Buggy. I hope you get to do that soon too, buddy. Because it is cool. He's up in northeast there. So, question
Uh,
from Australia, Matthew Parsi. He's the father of a young JQ racer who's doing really good. Jack, he wants to know. I know you can still answer these questions, Max. Stiffer front spring or lower front inside camber link position? That's what his question is. I would be lost
well,
with that.
um, this sort of this question sort of implies that both of these changes make the front end stiffer, and this is sort of in some sense, yes, but in other sense, if you lower the front camber link from the tower, what this does, well, obviously it raises the roll center, but what this does in practice is the car wants to dive better into the corners because the front end sort of pushes more to the outside tire. So especially on high grip, if you're struggling with the front end pushing into the like sort of like attacking the corner and being really catchy into the corner, lowering your front link from the tower makes it even worse.
Mm,
So in this scenario, stiffer spring would make it so that the front end would be less diving and more calm into the corner. But then, if you would like to ask, should you raise the link to uh, go against this diving motion, or should you go with a stiffer spring? I think almost always you should first try raising the link and then go with
mm,
the stiffer spring because this raising the link also gives you better corner speed on like more open corners. On tighter corners, having the link low gives you much better rotation due to the higher roll center in front. And stiffer spring really only just makes the front end dive less. For lower grip, most likely if the spring is too stiff, you're going to have the car push, and going lower with the link would make the car steer better, but then you would
mm,
also lose some corner speed on more open corners. So these sort of two are not interchangeable. These affect the very different ways.
mm.
But I hope I sort of went through everything you could do.
Yeah, you lost me, but
Yeah.
I'm cool. I
So
know
the
about hugging the
okay,
track and raising the link because
yeah,
you don't want it to dig in. You kind of, I actually posted a really good picture of this 4-wheel drive car, and it has a perfect example of that on
yeah,
Instagram, where it's just hug. It's like the chassis bottom out, and it's just the link being raised allows for that roll that's needed to, but still, I know I'm not an engineer enough, but it's still the link raising allows for that car to go down and the tire to still have contact patch. You know what I mean? As well, and
yeah.
it just looks like it's just stuck to the
Okay,
track.
I think I have a good way of explaining this to someone who doesn't want to learn too much but still wants to
Hmm.
know something. So every time you lower the link, think of it as you're transferring weight from the inside tire to the outside tire. And every
Hmm.
time you higher the link, think of it as you are transferring weight from the outside tire to inside tire. So the higher the link, the more balanced weight on inside and outside tire is, and the lower the link, it will be the opposite. So uh, more weight on the outside tire. But also
Awesome.
also to this question that this guy asked, a much better question would be a thicker or thinner sway bar or raising a lower the link. And this is
Mhm,
something that I really can't answer on the top of my head. This is something you just need to try.
mhm.
Obviously, if you're running already a super thin roll bar, uh, then yeah, probably should go thicker there before doing anything with the link. But also sometimes with a thick roll bar and high grip, the front end might be really aggressive because it doesn't allow the car to lean as much. So it's already transferring weight to the outside tire. So it's it's sort of it resists roll, but it also transfers weight to the outside tire. So it's sort of like I don't know. It's sort of like how do you call it? Hard thing to explain, but you just
Yes.
need to like get the feel of it and try it
You
for
know what?
yourself.
I forgot to mention, I got this in the mail this week
Yeah,
too.
that's yeah. You should if you
So
really want to like invest some time in it and know everything about setup. That's a really good book to read. But I hope
thank you,
I sort of
Joseph.
give a good explanation here as well for this
Yeah, you
guy
did.
who
You
was
did.
asking.
Obviously, you did. So I'm telling you, man, you learned a lot on the JQ, man, and you learned a lot for yourself. That's good. Uh,
Yeah.
Spencer Klein, Keenan K. White for president. Thank you, dude. Hey, this kid here, Spencer Klein, he's good, man. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good.
Okay.
Paul Conti, 8 scale nitro is definitely lorry, but do you think gas truck will make a comeback due to it gaining a bit of popularity recently, and the skill set needed to drive it competitively? Love the podcast, always entertaining and relevant content. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Paul. I do not think we will see it like nowhere near its glory days. I think we'll
Yeah.
see with Chad Park and Ignite RC Designs awesome conversion kit, which I'd like to get one for myself. We will see more people running them because you can get parts for them. I would like to see it. I would like to see them maybe have a class. I know you're not big on more classes, Max, but
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I would like to see exhibition class of this again. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I just think it's nice, and maybe I think if people drove gas truck, they would be a better driver. To be honest, it's look
Yeah.
where
Never
Tebow
drove
came
one, so
from. Yeah, have you ever driven gas? No, that's before your time.
no, no.
Way before your
I was
time.
like, it ended like in 2006 or something, right?
Probably before that. It was
Yeah.
on its way out in 2004, I think. Well, Truggy was started in 2004. Truggy killed it.
Yeah. Yeah, my take on this is that I think it will come back the same way as sort of four-wheel drive shortcut trucks were popular at one point. Like people will get excited about it, and well, this the crowd is definitely different than shortcut trucks. The crowd
Mhm.
will be like nostalgia guys and people like who've been in the hobby for a long time. But it'll be sort of like it'll gain popularity for a short time. Club racing will take it. Like there'll be a lot of club racing with these cars, and then it will slowly die off because no like top racers are driving it. But I
Right.
think even though I'm always against more classes, I think it's good to clarify that having more classes at club races or like when you're racing around with your friends, that's I'm all for
Yes.
that. Like having
Yes.
the car you want to drive is amazing. That's great for you. But I
Yes.
think classes that are professional like Truggy or like well, stadium track is sort of like an in between area, but like
Hmm.
Truggy for especially, I don't think that should be a professional class like buggy or e-buggy should be.
Oh my gosh, you are
That's my
gonna
whole
get
point.
flamed for that one, Max. All
I
the
think
Truggy
Truggy
guys are
should.
gonna.
I think Truggy should exist, but it should be sort of like people can run it for fun. Pros shouldn't run Truggy.
This is true, but it's money to be made there, so that's why they run it.
Yeah.
um, I think it's fun to run, to be honest. But
Yeah, but if the like the industry model was different and you would get the money from being interviewed and making like being seen on the broadcast and stuff, which are non-existent at the moment,
exactly.
then like they wouldn't need to run Chuggy. They would only need to win like the buggy races, and it would be more prestigious.
If only RC professional RC was actually professional, it would be great.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
yeah, but I will say this real quick. We will see more gas trucks because the conversion kit
Yeah.
uses the T6.
Yeah. It's a good
So
thing
it's
to do that, right?
right. So and I will tell you, man, I had Chad on here, and his conversion kit is mint. And a lot of the
Yeah.
Australian guys have
It
got
looks
them,
good.
and they're having fun with them. So we will see more, and hopefully I get one too. I got 5 gas trucks back there, but I don't want to race none of them. They're all shelf queens. All right, Wyatt Gaskins. Here we go. You're gonna like this one. Why doesn't
Yeah.
Live RC cover the biggest race time event of the year, PMB? I'm assuming there should be funding to cover this, considering the massive entry counts. Oh, I gotta answer this. One, Live RC doesn't do anything for free, which they shouldn't. They should be paid to go there. They should cover their costs to go there. I agree. Two, Dave has Jacob, and they have a single cam. Now, he does okay. He does okay. You know what I mean? They do some interviews and stuff like that. But for PMB, you need 2 to 3 cameras, not one. Now, when they go to the smaller stadiums, like they had SIC here, they had 1 camera and you could pretty much follow the whole race. Okay, they needed 2, right? Here's the bottom line. This is about making money, right? This race is put on. Yes, it gets a massive amount of entries, but it also costs a lot. Rent of the building, this, all that type of stuff costs money. So I don't know how much Live RC would charge to bring a full crew in there, but I know it's not cheap. You know what I mean? Well, maybe 10
Yeah.
grand, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe not that
Sounds
much, but
about right.
maybe
Yeah.
about 10 grand
Like
we're looking at.
yeah, 5 to 10.
Right. And Dave has Jacob who does his media for him. He does a great job. Like he gets promos up and all that stuff, but he just needs some help. I would like to see some more cameras at PM because it is a big race and it's a big track. So you need bigger cameras. So great question. But here's the reason, I think, because these races are not used to promote RC. So it doesn't matter. The people that are going to be watching that race are there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because there's so many people there, and we're not promoting that. We're not using these big races to promote to anybody outside of RC. You watch DNC this week or in 2 weeks' time. It's going to be the same people that watch the races all the time. You know what I mean? There's going to be, it's just going to be like that. Like, I don't know. They don't want to put the money into it. Dave does it himself. When it's at a smaller track, it's good. But this is in general just a problem, period. There is no this is the problem. There is no independent media covering this race. I was hoping to go there,
Yeah.
but not to stream it, but to cover it, like pit walks, stuff like that, interviews, stuff like that. When I was going to go last year. So it's unfortunate, man. I would like to see that race probably. And I think the manufacturers see it as a big race, but it's still not to the status of maybe, say, a DNC or even a Silver
Yeah.
State or a Nationals. Which it's a shame because it is a big race. I think what it is, what Dave wants, and has always said this to me, he wants to get the Europeans going to this race. But it's going to be hard to get the Europeans to go to this race because it's all freaking night. Like, you know what I mean? But for the
Yeah,
pro
I don't
guys,
think that's the
for the pro guys, it's
I
good. Their schedule's good.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue about race time entertainment races, that why they aren't attracting European racers, is the fact that these races, like okay, let's think about like sort of this is sort of like a car festival type of thing. DNC is like a car race type of thing. The marketing is completely different. People don't go to PMB to like regular people don't go to PMB to like race. They go to there to have fun. It's a fun race to go to. You hang out with your friends. Then you go 2 times a day, drive on a track. It's just like an excuse to go out with your friends, and you
Mm-hmm.
gotta pay for it. But I mean, just one way to do it with your friends. DNC, however, that's a race that you go there to race, and it's formatted as a race. You have practice heats, you have qualifiers, you have like everything is set up correctly, and it's for professional environment. With race time entertainment races, these are not like the way they put up these events is not like to build a professional race. It's just like to build a nice environment. Like even in PMB, there's all those like fake bodies and like the
Well, that's the
psycho
theme.
thing.
It's monsters and all.
Yeah,
Yeah. I like
yeah,
that.
but
I
like
like that
it's
promotion.
yeah, the thing is like they promote it not as a professional race, but as an event, like sort of like a
Mm-hmm.
festival type of thing or whatever. I don't like whatever it
Right.
is, but they don't promote it that way, and that's why Europeans don't come, because they
Mm-hmm.
don't like take it seriously. And also one thing that why they don't need live RC is this is the like the whole reason they don't want live RC. They don't need live RC because the event is in there. The event is in a broadcast. With DNC, the reason why it's so good is because of the professional race. That's like it's a prestigious race that people want to
Mm-hmm.
win.
Yeah.
PMB really isn't that. for some people, yeah, maybe like Tebow
Yes.
and Drake and those guys, or whatever, whoever wins it, they want to win it. But for most people that are there, they don't come there to like it's an event. It's not
Hmm.
like a professional race. That's like it's the feeling is different.
Right. I like race time events. I'm glad I never raced PNB because I would never race it like with the crazy schedule. It is too big, I think, but I guess that's their thing. As many entries, that's their thing. Get as big. I like
Yeah,
that event and all that type of stuff. I would definitely like to see more than one moving cam at his races, but you know, I'm gonna give Dave and Race Time major props when it comes to putting on an event and an indoor event. They are the best. It's simple as that.
yeah,
They know
oh
what they're
yeah,
doing. I may not agree with the practice schedules and all that type of stuff, but it works for people who maybe just want to get a 3-day race and they want to, that's
yeah,
fine. I am a fan of a practice schedule and having heats. You know what I mean? Instead of lining up and just waiting in line, I don't like that. But that's just how it is. And unfortunately, while I think it's a great race and it's a big race to win, it's just not on the level of a DNC. And I don't think DNC is the best race. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
definitely, we don't
It's the
use that
biggest
to
in
promote.
America.
Right. We don't use to promote we don't use that to promote it to anybody else either. It will get some promotion at Thunder Alley because it might be people there and stuff like that. But make it no joke. Like Joey does that. He wants to make his money. You pay for your entrance and everything's paid for. But it's the same. They're two business. The race promoters put it on races to make money. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that if we accept that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We accept that
yeah,
they're there to make money. We pay and we go. What gets me is when we say, "Oh, this is good for RC and all that stuff." Well, yes, if we promote it, if we use this to promote to outside of
yeah,
industry RC, yes. But what these big races do is take from the club scene. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And people like do this. What I would like to see Dave do, and I know he's a busy man, but like how they do the pro mains and all that type of stuff, they do it like pro mains, A mains usually, Nitro mains usually midday on Sunday. Promote that main, get spectators there, have a factory row, make it look real, make these guys wear something besides a black hoodie. No offense, Max. Sit them down and people come by with their cars and charge people to come in here. I mean, it's in Tennessee. It's not much going on. I'm sure people want to come. Maybe nobody buys a car, but at least we expose it. And those people know every year, okay, it's something good we can go to. We can go. I'm always been a big believer. If we treat it like it's a big deal, people will take it as a big deal. And we treat it
Exactly.
like, I don't know. That's a rant for another day.
Yeah,
Matthew Elson, why is Nitro better than Ebuggy and why the hate on Ebuggy? We covered that
yeah,
earlier.
yeah,
No hate on Ebuggy.
yeah.
I just think I'm just Nitro first. Don't worry. If you used to give me Ebuggy and say go to the track right now, Nitro and Ebuggy, I'm probably gonna take the Ebuggy because I don't feel like messing around with
Yeah.
Nitro. Kevin Clark, when are new kits coming? Hopefully the new kits for not new Black Edition kits that we was talking about will be here soon. It's February, it's Chinese New Year. That messes up plans for every manufacturer out there. And Marco Vera, when am I going to see Lefty drive a buggy? He talks RC all the time, but never see him go. And stop making excuses about manager and the podcast and let me see you boogie. I really want to race. I really want to do more RC, Max. That's one of my goals this year. I gave up RC to shake hands and kiss babies and make sure everybody's happy in the JQ
Like the
pits.
Pope.
Yeah, but that's my job. JQ pisses people off and I make them happy. So, like I'll never forget when I went DNC for the first time. It hurt my heart, man, not to race. Like hurt my heart.
Yeah,
Here I am, been to DNC. Last time we were probably gonna see it at Fur Farm, and I never got to race it.
yeah,
I've put my personal racing so far back. Like I don't know anything about setup. I don't know because I put it out of my brain. I'm more into this type of stuff now. I do want to race again, dude. We need a tracker. And even like Mike Hill was saying, man, or Mike Walker, like, man, if you come, everybody's offering me their cars, and I greatly appreciate that. But I think if I go to a race now, I'll just run. Honestly, people's gonna be like, you all this hater. I think I'll just run Ebuggy. And that's
yeah,
only because I just don't have when I go to races in the future, I'm gonna be doing this type of stuff. And I'm also gonna be doing the JQ stuff if we ever get to races this year. well, more than podcast stuff. So that takes up a lot of my time. And I just want to charge and go. I know like that goes against everything I say. So I'm not against Ebuggy. That's definitely perfect for me. But hopefully one day, man. I'm doing the scale trail stuff. I like that. So we shall see. We
Yeah.
shall see.
Yeah, the thing
Um,
about Ebuggy is it's for people that don't have the time, don't have the mechanic, don't want to put that much money in. Ebuggy is the class for you. Don't run Nitro just because we hate Ebuggy. We don't hate Ebuggy. We just
right.
Nitro is like the prestigious class. Like F1 is better than Formula E. Formula E is still great, but
Yeah.
F1 is the prestigious class, you know?
I agree with you, man. I agree with you 100%. All right. I think we have a couple more questions. Edward Gaza, where can I get JQ hoodies? I talked to Brent about that, and we need to get some new no name RC podcast hats. Lead General, paying track fees is a major issue right now. How can we resolve this without closing on the track? If anybody doesn't want to pay fees, don't let them run. If
Yeah, what?
somebody complains about paying $5 to $10 to run on a track, no, if the track is probably in shitty condition, you can make off. But if the track's in good shape, I mean, be happy that you have a track. I don't have a track. You
Yeah.
don't have a
I don't
track because
know.
you're under snow.
Yeah, we don't actually have a track at all because it's under what do you call it, bulldozer. But say yeah, we do it so that we pay a monthly fee. So you
Mm,
pay, I think it's $50 a month or it's like $120 a season, like summer season. And you can go to the track as many times as you want. And if you want to go one time, it's like 15 euros. So yeah, I think that's the best system out there. So
yeah.
because then people from go out from town to practice for a race, they pay the higher fee, and then if you're local, you don't have to pay like hundreds of euros just because you go to the track so often.
Hmm. I agree. And if they
Yeah, I
ain't
don't know
paying,
if they have that.
don't let them run.
Yeah,
Simple
definitely.
as
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
If they ain't
People
paying.
should pay their fees.
Well, that's all our questions we have this week, everybody. Thank you for the questions. Thank you, Max. For answering them. I think you we answered them very good. I look forward to having you come on. I think people's gonna see your potential for setup questions as well because I haven't. I don't know. I know a little bit, but not like you. Not like you nerds, man. Jesus, you guys study this stuff, but that's what you like. So if I
Yeah.
was racing again, I would be well into setup. You know what I mean? But mm, Lefty doesn't race. Lefty's setup mine goes elsewhere. Uh, Thank you to Beach RC for sponsoring this part of the podcast, guys. Remember, it's a brick and mortar hobby shop. Go check out Beach RC, www.beachrc.com. We also have an affiliate link. If you can use that, greatly appreciate it. That will be in the written description of this podcast. Let's see. We got a couple more things to go here, Max. I think we're gonna go on to the RC thought of the day. This is your RC thought of the day, and this is brought to us by, hold on, let me get my notes. Sun City RC Raceway, home of El Paso's world famous true old school motocross inspired 8-scale off road track. From handicap accessibility and cover pits to drop gate starts, this world class facility has everything needed to give you the professional feel with the amazing country views to match. SCRC has 4 acres of parking with plenty of room for RVs and trailers so the racing can carry on into the night with a well-lit track as well as pit area. SCRC is privately owned by the Showers family, who have been involved in the RC scene for 20 plus years. Joey Showers, who JQ and Joey get along perfectly well. Christian Showers, and my good friend Corbin. So really nice people. We had a great time when we went to SCRC. The people treated us good there, and everybody and all the New Mexico JQ guys treated us really well there. So thank you. Shout out to the Showers family. They also own their own equipment so they can make frequent changes to the track. They hire
Oh,
people to come in and do the layouts, and they hire professional race directors to come in for big races. So when you have a chance, if you're in El Paso, stop by, check out the SCRC track, hit up Joey Showers, Corbin, and Christian on the SCRC Facebook page. Go check them out, and yeah, we go from there. Check them out. Thank you, Sun City RC Raceway, for sponsoring the RC Thought of the Week. Max, it looks like your camera's going down here, buddy. Did your battery run out?
yeah, yeah. My battery ran out.
Ah, okay. Yeah, you gotta get. I have one of the I have a cord hooked up to mine. So now you're on webcam, right?
I don't know. No, I'm still on the camera. I don't know. I gotta check if I can hook it up.
All
I
right.
don't know if I can.
All right, well, let's go into the RC thought of the week. If you go out, as long as you got Mike, we're good. So this is actually bought for
Okay.
you. The RC thought of the week is separation of Joes and pros and a proper structure of classes at a race. Now, in your notes, you wrote about Italy and I believe the UK have an F1 and F2 system. Um, yeah, let's talk about that briefly. Because the RC, the thought of the week is not meant to be long. We're just having a thought and comparing what we can, and we'll do it without your camera. How's that? There we go. No,
Yeah,
Max.
yeah, I'll put it up.
Sorry,
Yeah.
he lost his camera. Everybody. So, what's your thoughts on this, Max? Because this was your thoughts, and I definitely think we need a definitive line between pros and Joes.
Yeah, so the thought behind this is sort of in America, this is sort of like a weird system where there's like pro, expert, sportsman, 40 plus, junior. There's like millions of classes, and it gets really like messed up. And there's like sometimes there's only like 20 people in a class in a super big race. So when you have more people in classes, you have much better racing. So this is why I think we should have only two, the F1, F2 system. Uh, this is what they do in Italy and UK, as you said. Uh, like it can't be done just by like entry, so people can just entry for F1 or F2,
Mm-hmm.
and it can't be also done with a ranking system. It doesn't really matter. But the point of this is you have sort of non-pro class which would be sort of the expert slash sportsman slash everything else, and then you have the pro class, which would be like just the pros. This
Yes.
way we can have like the best of both worlds. We have sort of a good level playing field for everyone that's not a pro, and then we have the pro class, and the media and the race organizers can really put all the promotion in the pro class, because that's what we want to show the fans and potential
Mm-hmm.
people that will want to start running RC. And this is sort of what RCGP did, but there's no reason why we couldn't do this in other races as well, especially like Race Entertainment races, or well, DNC could do this as well. There, it's not that big of an issue, but for Entertainment races, especially because they have so many classes already, having something like this would be much better, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And they do this at the Beatty contest in Italy. This works really well there. There's a really good race and really tight main for the F2 class always.
Mm-hmm.
And most of these guys are like, some might have sponsorships, but they're definitely not nowhere near pros. And then the F1 class is like, there's like 2 or 3 heats most of the times, and it's solely like semi-pro or pro guys. This is it's the best thing to do, especially at a bigger race. For smaller races, you maybe don't need this because there
Mm-hmm.
might not be as many entries. You just need one class. But I don't think we should have more than two. It should be like two is the best way to do it. But when you start having 3 or 4, you start like cutting the people out. Some people might have better competition uh, in a class up that's above them or below them, and that's just like the best thing about big races is that you find people that are just as good as you are, so you can race them,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah.
Also, like Europe has the Euro Bs, which I like. They have the
Yeah.
Euro Bs and Euro A's. The problem is, man, I'm with you. I'm with you. I would like to see a licensing system, but then that comes back to we need a governing organization too. But I like that. Like getting a like you. I don't think you can just go race. Like you have to get an F1 license to race. Like you have to earn an F1 license. Like you know what I mean, which is what they call it. And I think that's a good thing. The unfortunate thing, I don't think we're ever gonna see that. We will see one off, maybe one class races. I know there's a series in it's called the 3 states, one championship race. It's in South Carolina, Carolinas, all that stuff. And they race IFMAR style for Nitro Buggy. You know what I mean? No classes,
Yeah.
just you run. And I love that. I love it. Unfortunately, man, we have too much classes in America, sportsmen, all this type of stuff, and I just don't see this going anyway because everybody wants to everybody wants a trophy, everybody wants to be on the podium, not and people want yes, they want to run many classes for track time, but I think people run more classes so they have a better chance of podiuming
Yeah,
or whatever. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because
Or track time just for
yeah, both,
either is not a good reason to run it.
but
Like neither of those are the good reasons to run like multiple classes.
this is the race culture now. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah,
we have the on the West Coast where the guys are complaining about. Sorry, so my mic's hot there. We have guys who think that on the West Coast, if you're sponsored, you shouldn't be in sportsmen. And I'm like, oh, if you're sponsored or have a deal, it does not dictate nowadays. It does not dictate level of skill. So we got a whole it's such a mess. Every time after one of these races, you always get people accusing other guys of sandbagging and even like you. Remember everybody accused you of sandbagging at DNC.
DNC. Yeah,
And I was just like, man, you like this is first time this besides the worlds. I said this is the first time this guy's ever driven on a track like this. Like ever in America
yeah,
at the one of the biggest races. Don't be mad because he's just good. Like, you know what I mean? And it's been I mean, you can see the Europeans have come over and done well at DNC and Silver State and all these type of races. So yeah, I think if we had a definitive line between pro, then pro guys can be professional. We can still have the camaraderie that we like and that we want in RC, which is the hanging out with the guys and being in the pits with the pro guys that a lot of guys like and being able to ask them questions. But I think it would be nice if we can take some time out for them guys to be professional at a race, look professional, and cater to spectators. But it comes down to also it's so many classes. It's no time like they're jamming as much as they can into these races because there's so many entrants and so many classes, and they're trying to get done so people can leave at a good time on Sunday. It's just going to be not going to happen with that business model, unfortunately. What it's going to take is something like RCGP or someone like that to just do it, like a Neo race or something like that. Unfortunately, it's just I don't see classes going anywhere in the USA. Unfortunately, it's going to stay, and I think we're just going to see more classes come up. But the one class I don't see, which I would love to see, well, it is there. I would love to see a junior class, and let's have a junior champion, like a proper junior champion, and all this type of stuff. That's where we need to be
yeah,
focused on.
yeah. But I think there shouldn't be a junior class. It should be like the best juniors of like the F2 class or
Right.
anything have a junior main. And if there's enough juniors for 3 mains, then have 3 junior mains.
I agree
But there's
with
no
you.
need to have a special class for plus 40 or junior. If you want to have plus 40 main or junior main, then have it. That's an extra thing because those people are not like there's something special about them. They're juniors, so they need more track time, or they're old guys who just want to have fun.
I agree with
They're
you, man.
not 20 to 30-year-olds who have time and money and energy and can do anything they want.
I agree. What do you guys think? What do you like? Do you like the thought of maybe a licensing system, like where you have to earn a license to run certain classes and stuff like that? Let us know. We're just comparing how things are in Europe to how things are in the rest of, well, probably America mostly. This is where you see the big class separation. So let us know what you think about that RC thought of the day. And thank you, Sun City RC, for sponsoring the RC thought of the week. Max, I'm going to bring you back for the JQ Racing Rant. It's not going to be long, but now we have to go into the Tekno RC main interview. Return of the Dragon, one of the fastest young racers out there, is back. I'm glad to see him, and I sat down and chatted with him. Return of the Dragon, Dreighton Stoub.
Tekno RC. Tekno RC. Tekno RC is a premium manufacturer specializing in 8th and 10th scale high-performance off-road RC buggies and trucks. Visit www.teknorc.com for a complete catalog of their products. Tekno RC. Excellence in engineering. #Tekno Takeover.
So joining me this week is a young man I actually kind of got to know a few years ago and talked to him a lot on Facebook, talked to his dad a lot. I saw his name pop up on the CRC race this year, and near the end of December, I saw him pop up too. So I was excited because I thought he kind of left RC, but he was still around. So I like to introduce. I call this like I kind of want to call this the return of the Dragon because that's one of his nicknames, or Super D as they like to call him. But I like to welcome one of the young, fast Midwest racers that is being coming out of the Midwest, and that's Dreighton Stoub. How are you, man? What's up?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. You're like JQ, man. You got you're like you're talking to like him, monitoring. Come on, man. We need some excitement. Your hair looks wild, man. I love it. I love it.
Thank
You
you,
got
thank
that.
you. It's been a minute since I've got it cut.
I know you. A lot of people like just didn't go to the barber and stuff during COVID, but you got the wild golden locks out. You're looking like a superstar. You're looking like a pro RC guy right now, man. I like it. So welcome back to racing. It's good to see you back racing. We talked previously before we came on here, but why don't we tell people who you are? So you're Dreighton Stoub. You are how old?
I'm 18, from West Michigan. I've been racing for about 12 years. Second year on Team Associated running mod. Looking forward to a good year with the team.
Yeah. When I met you, you was actually running the JQ cars and you was running Yokomo. But I mean, you're just trying. You wasn't running for us, but you was just trying out the cars, and so that's how I got to know you. And then like we kind of lost touch when you went back to stock. But it's good to. It's funny when I was looking at my Facebook. The last time I sent you a message was like when I did my first episode of this podcast. I was like, "Hey, send this to your dad," and like it's been 2 years and so much changed since then. So, thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate it, and congratulations, you killed it at CRC. It was good to see you come back. And then you was out here racing some 8 scale recently. You killed it in Ebuggy. And your dad told me kind of let you down in Nitro, and I was like, come on, man, we gotta fix this because Nitro is the glory. So, it's good to see you back. But to those who don't know Dreighton, 2017 was kind of like a really breakout year for you. You was killing it in stock. You killed it at the ENATs. You're still running for Associated at that time, so you was driving the Associated car. You killed it at ENATs, and that's kind of how I got to know you. So and then so I just want to talk about that. So tell us a little bit how you got into RC because your dad's been into RC and all this type of stuff. So tell us your story, man. I like to know how guys get into this crazy world that is RC.
So my dad used to do it a little bit when he was younger, and then when I was born, I think I was around 4 or 5. He got me a Slash, and we started running at our local track, and then from there it just kind of grew. I think when I was 8, around 8, we opened up our own track, and that was open for a few years. Once I turned 12, kind of started traveling around and getting more into it and gaining some speed to get some national recognition.
Yeah, at 12, you was getting some national record. What was your first big race at around 12? Do you remember?
The longest, I mean, we went to nationals when I was at leisure hours for outdoor for 10 scale, but we went out to California for the super stock nats at West Coast. I think that was my first time making an A main at a big race. I ended up getting like 6th or something in stock short course, so that was really cool for me. I think I was around 11 or 12 at that time.
All right, so you really cut your teeth like a lot of guys did running short course and whatnot. I wish that class would come back, man. We need to. I don't think it's gonna come back, but it'd be good to see it come back at some point. It did get a lot of people into RC.
Yeah, that is true. I ran it actually, not 2020, but 2019 at stock nats, or I guess nationals, and ran stock short course. I enjoyed it a lot. Just something kind of you can relax and enjoy driving and have fun with, instead of like buggies where it's a little more competitive, a little more intense. Short course you can kind of just lay back and enjoy driving the car.
Yeah, I agree. And you can hit people and it doesn't really mess you up. It's definitely a great. I think as the industry when it came in, we kind of destroyed the class by making it too competitive, and that's probably why it's died. But I always thought it was a great beginner class. You're a prime example of this. So you go into short course and all that stuff. When did you start doing 2-wheel drive buggy and 4-wheel drive, or was you doing it along with short course as well?
I don't remember exactly how old I was, but I know I was running buggies when we had our track. So I was probably around 7 or 8 when I started doing that, and I ran that along with short course.
All right. What was, because your dad had a track, what was it called?
Proving Grounds RC.
Oh, yeah. So that was an indoor 10 scale clay track, right?
Yeah, and then eventually we had a parking lot, pretty big parking lot in the back that we put an 8 scale outdoor track on, actually. So that was super nice also.
Okay. So when was your first taste of 8 scale then? Do you remember? Or did it come later in your career?
No, I ran it a little bit earlier. I think I was probably around 10 when I ran 8 scale outdoors there and started kind of going to State Line and other places around us.
Yeah. State Line was a great track. I think I remember you went there for the last, was it the last King of, what's that race they have? Is it State Line has the King of something race? The King of Kings or something race? I believe so. I can't remember.
Yeah, the King of Kings.
Right.
I think that was their last race they had there.
That was such a
If I
good track.
remember correctly. But yeah, I stopped by there and ran.
All right. So like I said, who was some of, well, before we go any further, besides your dad, who were some of your early influences in your career, man? Who were some of these guys that were helping you out?
So I guess in the beginning it was just kind of me and my dad, and then once I was again probably 13, 2017 era, 16, I joined Factory Tracks Racing, and then Al Horn and a bunch of the guys on that team started helping me out, and then I kind of grew and kind of parted ways and started running for Yokomo at one point, and now I'm on AE again, and it's been great. I guess just teammates throughout the years. Dakota Fenn was a pretty big inspiration, I guess. He's from Michigan also. He was doing remarkable things at a younger age, and I kind of wanted to gain some speed and be kind of like him when I was younger.
Yeah, and the phenom, man. He's we have a joke though at Nitro. He fends himself because he never finishes, but I think the that's a great guy to emulate. He's extremely talented, man. Super fast, and he's just pretty professional, I would say, in the way he does things. Factory Tracks. Now, I've heard this before. I've never really talked to anybody from the team, but I want to assume it's similar to like the one-up AE team we have going on now on the West Coast, but it was there before, so it's like a satellite team that takes young drivers and grooms them.
Exactly, yeah. Kind of like the one up team before one up, and I mean they're still around. Aiden and Al Horn, Austin Horn. Al started it and kind of grew it in our area, the Michigan area, and it's kind of expanded. I think they have a couple people in Indiana. I think they have one out in Colorado now, so it's growing pretty big. I think they might have around 20 drivers now.
Wow.
It's really, I think it's great for the hobby, kind of getting younger people who have speed and potential, kind of help and groom them, like you said, to become kind of national names.
Yeah, I mean, it worked. It's kind of working for you. I see that Aiden has now left and like going full. I believe he's going full AE, and pursuing his RC career, which I think is great. And these guys just are prepared for that. I mean, I assume they teach you a lot of like how to just wrench on your cars and just be a good ambassador for RC as well, and be fast. So it's good to see, man. It's good to see. I kind of wish we had something like that in 8 scale, man. We desperately are missing that, like, that separation, like where you guys have it. Like I do get down on stock a lot on this podcast, right? But I do like the fact that stock is a way for young guys to get faster and get up to speed and then branch out and go into mod, which should be the ultimate goal, to get to mod. We need something like that in 8 scale. All right. So, like I said, 2017 was your breakout year. You killed it. How much? I mean, you was killing it in stock because I kept hearing your name. You killed it at the E-Nats. So let's talk about 2017. You was what? That's what, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. So you was like 14, 15. You're still a young man, still young, and you was killing it. Like, I think that was the biggest thing. I watched some of your races from Chico, man, and I was like, man, this kid is killing it out there. Like, wow. Let's talk about that, man. What were some of your big wins, big accomplishments in 2017 that kind of like, and then after that you went mod?
So 2017 was my, I guess, lone year on Factory Tracks. I did CRC. I won CRC with both stock classes, which was cool. I did a few more races, a couple of the J Concept series. Like you said, I went out to Chico and I was able to get a podium in Ebuggy at Nationals. That was really cool for myself. First time being on a podium at a national event. I was actually out west for about a month. We did the Hot Rod Hobby Shootout. We did a J Concept Series race out in Arizona. That was really cool. I guess at the end of the year, kind of in the summer, in August, I got my first national title in Maryland. That was super cool to accomplish for myself. I guess those are my big wins. Just Ebuggy and that national title, really cool, special to me.
Hey, there's two are big enough, I think, for the year. You know, especially because you kind of predominantly you didn't do Nitro. You was just focused on Ebuggy. Like Ebuggy was looked like it was kind of like a side thing. Like you just went there, but your focus was two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. So congratulations. Now you win the stock nationals. Which did you win both classes, or how did that work?
So in Maryland, I won 13.5 four-wheel buggy, and then I got third in two-wheel buggy.
Okay, all right. Who beat you at that time?
In stock buggy, Tater Sontag got his first national title there. He won
Really?
two-wheel, and then Will Cushing got second. Yeah.
Okay, both of those names. Obviously, I'm familiar with Tater, and I haven't met Will, but I've seen his name around, so that's cool. So now you jump up. 2018 is kind of when I got to know you. You signed with Yokomo. Was you still running J? Was you running J Concepts at the time, or did you when you went to Yokomo, or did you join them when you joined Yokomo?
No, so J Concepts was kind of like a part of Factory Tracks, and I stayed with
Okay.
J Concepts when I went to Yokomo, and then I switched from Reedy to Hobby Wing.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure what had happened. So you're familiar with the tires, but a completely new chassis. Now you came out I know expectations were high for you in 2018 because you had a really good 2017. And let's talk about your 2018 because you did have some struggles, but you had some good results as well. What was your first race of mod in 2018? Did you went out to, was it CRC?
Yeah, CRC was the first race I went out to on the Yokomo platform, national level at least. I had a pretty good showing there. I made both mod mains, just missed podium in four-wheel, but I was content with that as a, I guess, Kickstarter to the year.
Yeah, and then you did Reedy that year too, right? And you raced open. How'd you finish in at Reedy that year?
So we actually missed signups for Reedy, so we had to go to the race into Reedy, and then the next week go out for Reedy. I TQ'd two-wheel open. I don't know where I qualified in four-wheel. I made the main though, so that was important to me. Had a really good start to the mains and two-wheel, and kind of made a bad choice. And I guess hindsight's always 20/20, but that choice costed me what I think could have been a Reedy Open championship.
Wow, but you still have time. I mean, can you go into open now at Reedy when it happens again?
Yeah, I can run open now. I don't know if I have a whole lot of interest in that at the moment.
Okay.
I think since it didn't happen this year, obviously, I guess my main goal, looking ahead, would be to make the main at nationals in either mod two-wheel or mod four-wheel, ideally both, so that way I can run an invite at Reedy.
Yes.
But if that doesn't happen, I guess I can just plan on running open next year or try again at nationals.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I did not realize that if you made the main at the nationals, you got an invite. I wasn't sure, so I didn't know that. All right, good stuff. So, but then you kind of come with some struggles in 2018. I think you was the nationals that year in Arizona, I believe, or was it the Yeah, it was. So you went there, you struggled there a bit at that track. You kind of, and you're like,
yeah,
I know I was remember talking to your dad. He was a bit frustrated. Then you went to Enats with our car, and you kind of struggled there compared to. And I mean, let's be honest. Like Plex is a hard track to be fast at. You know, Tebow goes up there now, and those guys beat him. So two hard tracks. I think that you kind of, everybody was expecting big things from you, and it kind of. I'm not saying that it was disappointing. No, I would I think you was a little bit disappointed on your finishes there. I know you wanted to do well, but it just seemed like after that, just something wasn't there anymore. Like I don't want to. I know you work with Ryan and Pillars, but it seemed like you just didn't gel too well with the Yokomo for the rest of the year. Am I correct?
To an extent, I think it was just kind of best if we parted ways for both parties. I think I kind of got a little full of myself and what my abilities may have been and what I was ready for that year. So taking a step back and kind of resigning, if you will, from Yokomo, I think in the long run it's a good choice. In the moment, a lot of people probably questioned it, but
Yes.
here today, I'm pretty confident in the decision. I think it worked out for both parties. Yokomo is a great team, as you know, Joe, and it's kind of shrunk in the United States a little bit. Ryan's still running the cars as of now. He's doing great. But I think for me personally, the AE cars and the choices that I made have helped me a lot.
Yeah, because you actually resigned from a chassis. I believe you kept JC as a sponsor, or no, I can't remember. And you
Actually,
go ahead.
after nationals in Chandler, like I said, I was kind of full of myself and what I could do. So I ended up dropping from a few sponsors of my electronics. JC was one of them, and Yokomo.
Okay.
And I signed with Phantom about a month later. They're local to me, about an hour and a half away. I know the owners really well. It was a good fit and kind of a good grounding for me to regain my focus and prepare for mod when I decided to come back to run that again.
So yeah, because we didn't really see that much. Like, it was shocking. I remember, and I was just like, oh man. I said, oh, we're gonna get the blame for this. Like, they're gonna blame JQ Racing for this. Watch, like, everybody, but they kind of didn't. But it was disappointing. I remember talking to you. I remember this because I was talking to your dad, and I think I just had my daughter, and it's just like I was actually in the hospital, and I said, hey, what's up? And he goes, oh man, we're taking a break. And I was like, what? I was like, what's going on? And he goes, yeah, we're taking a break. And I didn't really get it, and I think that was the last time I kind of talked to him. And I think you kind of did the right thing. Like, was it really humbling? Like, did you bring it on a notch? Like, what did it do for you? Like, and personally, emotionally, like, I know it must have been like kind of a big blow, especially for a young man in your age at that time. He's 15, was it 15, 16? You're still at a very young age. You're still young, but that's a lot to deal with at 16. Did it humble you down and just make you refocus altogether?
Yeah, at 15 years old and dropping those big sponsors, I mean, it was a tough pill to swallow. But like I said, looking back on it, it was the right decision for me. Signing with Phantom, we made a deal. I kind of would run stock and help them regain some national recognition. That helped me tremendously because going back to stock, it was something that I knew I was good at and I could be competitive in and wouldn't really have to worry about setup as much just because you're going a little bit slower on the track. The car is not going to do as many weird things. I could kind of just focus on my mental state at the track.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that helped a lot in regaining confidence. So that way, when I did come back to running mod, I knew I could compete with Dakotas and Spencers and all of them. So it was more a mental thing for me, opposed to, like, I guess you'd say a setup or a sponsor wise.
Right. I think you probably, like you said, you got a big head, and then when you got a big head, you don't even listen to your dad, you don't listen to nobody. And sometimes you just have to get brought down a little bit. But I think it sounds like it's really humbled you down. I mean, how was your 2019 at stock? Because I saw you did really well for Phantom. I always I would see the announcements about Phantom and stuff like that. So 2019, you're doing stock. How did you do?
So my first race of 2019 in stock was CRC again. I won 2-wheel. I got second in 4-wheel. Did some J Concept Series races again. Went out to nationals. I was able to win all 3 of the classes that I raced, which was stock short course, stock 4-wheel, and stock 2-wheel. That was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of similar. I mean, I just needed a break after that long weekend, and I didn't run again until January when I signed with AE and
Right.
AKA. Other than club race here and there, I wasn't doing any big races. I guess kind of similarly, just to kind of calm my head down a little bit, regain some balance, if you will, emotionally, and swing again in January.
Yeah. I mean, that's congratulations. I didn't even realize that you won stock nationals and you won 3 classes in 2019. So you're a 2-time stock national champion. That's good. That's always a great feather in your cap. And then, like, obviously COVID happened and we didn't hear from you at all, like all of 2020. So, and then when you showed up in December, like it was great to see you. So, what did you do 2020? Any type of racing at all? RC, anything, or what's been going on with you?
So 2020, I did CRC and Smack Track for the J Concepts INS right before COVID hit its peak and everything shut down.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was in the B main in mod 2-wheel buggy, and I got 10th in mod 4-wheel buggy. So to make the main in one of those classes after a break from national events and super high level competition was super cool. And then I went to INS and I got third in mod 2-wheel buggy behind Dakota and Cole, and beat some really good racers there too, which was a confidence booster. However, I didn't make the main in 4-wheel, which is unfortunate, but that 2-wheel really gave me confidence. And then I was excited to go into March, and all of a sudden COVID hit and shut down the country, and we couldn't race again or go to big races rather, until around December for us is when I was able to finally get out, and I went to Top Gun. I struggled there. It was a hard track, hard environment to learn, get the setups right, but I salvaged a 4th place in my 4-wheel buggy, and I think I got 9th or 10th in 2-wheel, which isn't great, but after a 8-month break or whatever it was due to COVID, it was great to get to the track, and that was really what was important.
So you didn't do any type of RC in that time then?
Not really, no, because in February or in March rather, when we shut down in Michigan, I just kind of stayed home for a couple months, couldn't really do a lot, and then in the summer I got a job. Was working full time over the summer. None of the tracks were really open. No big races going on. I may have club race here and there come the fall time, but other than that, no, I was just enjoying life as much as you can during those conditions. And then I
what type of
decided
job did you
once
have?
December,
What
I
was
was doing lawn care, so mowing.
Oh, you was doing hard work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in riding mowers and then weed whipping and stuff like that.
Okay, all right. That's good, man. That builds character too. That makes you work hard, so you're gonna have to do that again, you know? You're like, okay, I wanna get an education or I wanna be an RC superstar. One of these two. I don't want to be cutting grass for a living. Not saying there's nothing wrong with that. It's just some hard work. So, all right. So you're 18 years old now. You're still in school. You're still in high school, right?
Yep, senior this year.
Okay, so how have you been balancing RC and school all these years?
I guess in school, I've never really had to do a lot of homework or study super hard. So that helped a lot with racing and missing school. I can kind of just go into the classroom after missing a few days and catch up pretty effortlessly. So I mean, my grades suffer a little bit when I go to a big race and miss 4 days of school, but for the most part, I've been able to hang on to a GPA and stuff that I consider acceptable. Get some test scores that I was okay with, and then college is coming up, I guess, this fall.
Oh yeah, so college, where are you planning on going?
As of now, I'm not sure. I'll probably end up in state to save some money, but
okay,
not quite sure as of now.
What are you interested in?
I'll be going to school for business.
Okay, smart man. You want to make money. You want to make money. I don't blame you. Your dad's a smart businessman too, so I could understand that. All right, so I like that what do your friends think about this? Like, what do you like? How do they think it's cool? Because this is one of our disconnects. Like, we're trying to get more young kids, young people into RC. I want to see more young people because this is the future. But we have to compete against video games and everything else. Because let's be honest, like RC does not get girls. So when you're 16, 17, and you're a boy, you want to do things that got girls. I understand that. Do your friends think this is cool? Like, did they understand what you do?
So I mean, a few people at school, no, I don't really go around and talk about it a whole lot. Like if people Google my name just for a joke or whatever, they'll see all of it and I'll answer their questions. I guess it's like 50-50. Some people are like, oh, that's really cool. A few other people are just like, it's whatever. It's more like cost. Like they do it if it was a little bit cheaper. Like video games, you're saying it's kind of like a one-time purchase. With RC car, you have to get parts whenever you break. You have to get electronics whenever they go bad. Tires are reoccurring, just stuff like that. I mean, it's more probably cost effective to get a video game or something like that as high school, which is unfortunate. But
How about sports and into any other sports besides? Well, I guess this is a sport for you. Not it's more than a hobby. It's a sport for you. Any interest in any outside sports? You play any other sports in high school?
So I don't play any sports, but I like
Okay.
to follow like college sports, basketball and football. I enjoy that a lot. Supercross here and again whenever I can catch that.
Wow, it seems weird that an RC guy isn't into Supercross. I haven't met one yet that isn't into Supercross. So it's interesting. Cool. All right, so let's talk about your future here for RC. Obviously, you got school on your mind, which is super smart because RC isn't the best future plan for anybody. Because you're only as a racer, you're only as fast as your last race. What are your plans? You got 21 coming up here. You just did some Ebuggy racing, like I said, at All for Fun RC. You bested Lutz. Congratulations on that. That's one of his faster classes. Your dad's gonna take Nitro a little bit serious here. You said you're gonna take Nitro serious, which I'm glad to hear. Is Nitro something that you've always wanted to do? Has it been a struggle for you? Because I remember you was fast with the Ebuggy, but Nitro was a bit of a struggle for you. Is it a focus? I think you need it. Do you think it's something you want to focus on and be good at?
Nitro, actually, my dad is super into the Nitro stuff. He over quarantine, he was kind of looking into it, learning all about these setups and stuff. He's like, we got to do it when it starts up again. I was kind of on the fence about it because Nitro has always been a struggle for me, whether it's been the power band and how it's delivered or how much lighter the car is than an Ebuggy. I'm not sure. It's just always been a struggle for me. So I was kind of on the fence about it. And then he's like, all right, I'll get a car going. We'll make it good. I was like, all right. And then I kind of started to lean more into, yeah, this could be something that I want to do and have some fun with doing. Because like you said, Ebuggy I'm already pretty comfortable in. So we decided to do some Nitro racing and Ebuggy racing at RC Fun Park. And then we're going to try and do DNC if that race happens this month.
Yes, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be so interesting. This is I'm excited about this DNC. For me, it's not going to have all the Euro flavor that it usually has, but what it has coming is younger racers coming, like you, the Renner Connects, the Aiden Horns. Then I would say the fast guys in our group are like in the 8 skill guys are like the Spencer Heckerts, Tyler Jones, Seth Van Dalen's. But you guys are just a little bit younger than them guys and hungry, and I like this. And I think we're gonna see a DNC where you younger guys shine. So I'm excited for this. It's a hard race. But it's gonna, I'm glad you're going. This is your first DNC, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's gonna be hard because Thunder Alley is all right. It's because it doesn't really get too blown out, and it depends what type of layout Joey puts in there. But when I went to RCGP, I thought it held up pretty good. So it should be interesting to see. I definitely think Nitro is important for you, man. I don't want to see you. It's nothing wrong with this, but I don't want to see you become a 10 scale only guy. I think when you look at some of these great racers in the world, they race Nitro too. Look at a guy like Ronnefalk. He doesn't race Orangaro. They don't race much 10 scale, but they're able to compete on a world class level at 10 scale, and it's utterly amazing to me. And they're both European champions in 10 scale, as well as Ongaro isn't. So I definitely want to see you. I was talking. I want to see Born a Crime do some more 8 scale Nitro. Matthew Gonzalez. I think it's important for you guys, man, and it's just I think something you're gonna probably have to learn. I think it is the power though. Ebuggy it gets you out of so much trouble with that power. And Nitro just have to carry so much corner seat. But hey, man, I don't have to tell you how to drive. You are 1,000 times more skilled than I would ever be, but I just want to see it because I think you have the right attitude. I think your dad has the right attitude. He doesn't take any prisoners, and you guys are coming we kind of agree on a lot of things. I want to see the old guard be challenged by the young guard, which is you guys and the younger guys in Europe and all this type of stuff. What's your thoughts on that? Are you scared? Do you get nervous around these fast older legends that are in RC, or are you like a young tiger trying to rip? I'm going for everybody.
No. When I'm running with them on the track, before when I was younger, 2018, when I was around 15 years old, it was all right, they're supposed to beat me. I'm not supposed to be be competitive with them. So when I was competitive with them, it was awesome. And then I guess since like 2020, when I went to CRC after taking a little bit of a break and was running lap times that were comparable to them, and then went to Smack Track and did well. And then especially this year at CRC, when I was podium and two-wheel mod buggy, it's more of a confidence thing now. I'm boosting my confidence. And it's not like it's not I shouldn't be competitive with them. It's I should beat them.
Yes.
I feel I'm capable of doing it. And when it happens, it's awesome. And when it doesn't happen, it's whatever. It's next race.
I love it. I love it. You're not being a fanboy. You're being a champion. I love it. I think what you've done, I mean, going back down to stock, regaining your center. You know what I mean? You was wobbling. I like to say this. You was wobbling off axis, and then you came down, brought your head down, humbled down a little bit, went back in your craft, honed your craft a little bit more. No, I'm not saying everything's gonna come easy and stuff and in mod, but now you're older, you have a better outlook on life. You can do things better. You can think things through. I love it. I'm excited to see what you do, not just in Nitro, but in 10 scale this year. You know, because I think more of these young guys need to have this killer instinct. Like, you know, if you want, we're racing. You know, and you're one of the guys that I think can probably be a professional racer and do very well at this, if that's what you choose. But I love the attitude, man. Take no prisoners. I love it. Does that come from your dad too? Because he seems to he definitely goes against the grain when it comes to things.
I guess it could be a little bit as far as racing goes and my outlook on that. He instills a lot of confidence in me and kind of like telling me that I can run with them and I'm able to beat them consistently if I put my head down. So that could be it. Part of it's also just results as they've come and just kind of like realizing that I can compete and I'm able to win against these guys. It's just kind of calm me down when I'm on the stand racing them, especially at SCRC. That track was super brutal, high speed and a little bumpy. So I kind of had to calm my driving down, and it was calming to know that I didn't have to push the car to run their lap times and challenge them for a win.
So I agree. So is your goal now, like you're floating between university and stuff, is your goal to pursue actually doing this for a living? Is this something that you want to do, or do you still want to, like, I mean, I gotta ask you this. You're 18, you're coming to that decision, like, do I want to pursue this and do it, or do I want to take some time from school and do it, or do I want to try and balance school and this? Because school and this is going to be hard, but it can be done.
Yeah, I'll probably try and balance it as much as I can. If it gets to too much, I'll go to school. If it gets to too much, as far as doing it as a living, it all depends on how I evolve as a racer. If I keep getting better, if companies are willing to work with me in that sense. I haven't thought too much about that now. As of now, I'm focused on kind of going to school, doing this as much as I can, getting a degree and starting a company so I can get some income going like that in case RC, I guess, doesn't work out. I've always told people the dream isn't to do this for a living. It's to get my own company.
Right. Dude, when you make your own company, you can just go, like, you wouldn't need any sponsorship. You can buy RC. You know what I mean? That's what you can do. Like, go out and make millions and millions and come back and buy RC. That's all you got to do. Like, I buy everybody. You know, I'm going to make RC how I want it to be. Thoughts on our industry today? You've been in it for a long time. It's still kind of done the same way. We're big proponents of, we want to see things change. We want to see more people get into it. We want to promote young racers like you who get it. Is there some things you'd like to see? Like, I really think we need to promote what we do to people so people can see what we're doing.
Yeah, there's a couple things that my dad and I were actually talking about with another racer just last night. Similar to what you were saying, kind of how stock is like a stepping stone in 10 scale. My dad was talking about it'd be cool if we had a different engine that was a little bit tamer, a little bit calmer for people to step into Nitro a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as 8 scale goes in Nitro, I think a new engine that kind of calms the car down a little bit and slows it down so people can focus on the car instead of just racing the track will help a lot. As far as 10 scale goes, there's big arguments about 17.5 and it's too fast and it's taking away from mod. I have opinions
What's your
on
thoughts on that?
I agree, but I don't know what we'd do to fix it, because if you're going to make 21.5 the stock class, then anyone who thinks the 21.5 is too slow is going to run mod with their 17.5, and you're going to have that same problem. It's almost two different classes that are kind of just on the track at once, and it'll be super awkward running with them, and it's going to be a lot different if that does happen.
Well, what I think needs to happen, because 10 scale is a great gateway into RC. We need a spec class for new, like I think the 21.5 class would be good for that. I know we don't need more classes, but we definitely need a spec class for beginners, for newbies, that they could come in, and like I think stock could be the middle ground on that, but I think stock is just, I call stock modified and modified stock, because I mean, you have to do so like stock is for tinkerers too, as well. I get that.
Yeah, that's another thing.
I get that, but it just seems to be so much. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Just so much rules and regulations and fights over this and stuff like that. I'm also not really big on. I didn't know that stock guys made money till I met you guys and a couple other guys. I don't know how I feel about that, but I get it. Like, I get it. These guys have to sell stock motors, and you guys, I get it. It's just something that I don't know how I feel about. I think it should be amateur, and you guys have to bump up. When you want to get some revenue, you have to bump up the mod. But I get that the stock motors is a big thing, big money maker in stock, and obviously a big thing. I just think we wish we could clean that up somehow. How about just like how we promote? Like, what do you think about it? Like you said, some kids don't get it. Some I honestly think, like, my dream, if people like with you the younger generation coming up, is that we get these guys who aren't afraid to go, like you, to go after these guys who aren't trying to kiss their ass. You're not being disrespectful, but you're trying to beat them. And I kind of want this young guy or this RC racers that's going to bring some charisma and bring some character to our industry, man. Like you're a good looking dude. You got this long flowing blonde manes. Like, you don't look like your average RC guy. Like, if I had you on I would market you like crazy. Like, I'd be like, hey man, let's do a promo right now. Stuff like that. That's how I feel about RC. Would you like to see RC become cooler? That's what I would like to see. Like, more like motocross, stuff like that. Rivalries, like I think AE and TLR is gonna have a big ass rivalry this year, especially with all you young guys in 10 scale and all the young guys they're got in 10 scale, and they've got a pretty stacked 8 scale team. Like, all this makes RC exciting, but we kind of shy away from it, man. That's my thing. That's my argument right there. So,
I kind of think about that here and again. I kind of like what you were saying, more like a supercross almost, but also like an NFL or college football or whatever. So if there's like, you have an argument in the locker room, you always got people reporting that about 8 football and stuff. I think it'd be cool if, whether it's Live RC or some other company or broadcasting news network thing that'll come out. If there's an argument in the track, or if tempers get high and people are yelling at each other, I think it'd be cool to have headlines and articles on say Cavallari lets loose on Stoub, or Stoub lets loose on Mayfield, or whatever. I think it'd be super interesting, kind of add more drama to the sport or hobby, whatever you want to refer to it as.
Yes.
Just draw more attention to all the drama that happens and goes on, because I feel like there's stuff that happens, people yell every once in a while, but it's never really brought up. It's only maybe in the comment sections on a few posts you'll see something, but like it's always Cavallari wins the race or whatever, Rivkin wins such and such. It's never like when Rivkin and Dakota got into it at CRC, you never really saw an article about that argument and what happened then.
I did it.
Yeah, you guys did a podcast on that. Yep.
And we put the video because I think
like,
that's exciting. I think that's what we need to look at. It's 2 pro racers that hit each other in the first race of the year. Like, if I was Fend, I don't know, or if I was Rivkin, I would kind of be like watching my back the next race, because maybe the TLR guys are coming for me. And if I'm the AE manager, I'm like, hey man, it's on. Like, somebody's gonna, I said it, like, do that secret call, like, caca. Next thing you know, like, you're doing a team orders, take him out. I'm not saying I want people to be taken out, but we're too vanilla, too PC. We sweep all this stuff under the carpet, man. people are into this stuff, and it makes it exciting. We need to talk about it. Why not use it to promote what we do?
Right. At CRC, like you said, they got into it on the straightaway, and A1, and then A2. I was able to get into the lead, and then I saw kind of the corner of my eye. They got into it, got into each other again. Whether or not they hit each other or one of them got loose and kind of something happened there, I don't know. But whether or not it happened intentionally, I think it'd be awesome to exploit that and kind of ask that question and make articles about that and be like, yeah, new rivalry
just don't
brewing
have that.
between Rivkin and Fenn.
We don't have it in
Yeah,
RC
there's
anymore.
no.
We used to in the magazines, but and stuff like that. They would say it, but now it's just like, man, everybody wants everything to be quiet. But I think you guys can change that, like with this attitude, like just be on. If I'm gonna give you one word of advice, man, follow what you said. You like to see things like, don't be a dickhead, but be forceful. Like don't take no crap from these guys. Be there, put your foot on. If somebody gets into you, don't be afraid to say something to them. Like, that's the only way you're gonna get respect, I think, as a young racer. And too many guys are too busy, scared to do that type of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? If you're serious about this, you're a competition, and you want to do this, you gotta kind of force your way in and say, hey, I'm her, and I ain't taking no crap. I think you're on the way. Don't get me wrong. You have the right attitude, because you don't. I like it. Like, I just like it. Like how you. That's why I kind of always like talking to you and your dad. Like, I liked your way, your approach to RC. You guys had a no BS approach to it, and I wish you guys all the success, man. And I hope you can be that character in RC that I hope you can be. Like, I really do, because we need it. You get it. Like, you get what we need to do, but I just want others to be like that. So I hope so, man. I hope so. I agree with you, man. I know we weren't gonna talk too long. We've been going for about 40-something minutes. I know you're a young man. You got things to do. Don't cut the hair, man. I like it. I think it's wild. I want to know. I have one little question for you. Who's your biggest rival here in 10 scale? Who do you hate to lose to?
I'm sorry, what?
Who do you hate to lose to?
That's tough. I don't like losing to Aiden Horn. That's just because we grew up racing each other. We've been friends since we were 6 and 7 years old. I guess it's just kind of like an unsaid rivalry, in my opinion. I know he likes to beat me. I like to beat him. But I mean, when I TQ'd around at CRC, he was the first one to come up and congratulate me, which was cool. I mean, we've been friends since, like I said, since we were kids, and kind of to have the respect we do for each other on the track. And then when things don't go our way and go good for another, we can kind of congratulate them and focus on our next round while they focus on theirs. And whether or not he does it that way, I don't like losing to him. I like beating him a lot. I know he likes winning in general, whether it's beating me to do so or not. He doesn't care. But I guess it's just him. I do not like losing to my old friends.
That's awesome. And you guys are like now, like again on the same team, probably going to DNC together, or gonna, not together, but we'll be in the pitting together. It's awesome to see. Anybody impress you right now in the stock ranks? You think he's gonna be fast and needs to get to mod?
At CRC, I haven't really focused on it, but at CRC I was watching. Matt Gonzalez looked really strong. He looked strong last year also. I think he could be really good in mod at the end of this year or whenever he decides to bump up. I watched CRC a little bit in qualifying, and Cameron Ayers threw down some really good runs. Whether or not she wants to jump up in the mod, I think she can do really well on that. A couple other people, AJ Marasco's been known in stock for a while.
I know. AJ's into drag racing now. AJ's been doing a lot of drag racing.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, I think he'd be good in mod if that's something he wants to do. I'm sure there's other people out there on the West Coast and more down south and around the country that I don't particularly know about, but there's got to be a lot of people out around here who can throw down in stock, who are ready to bump up to mod.
I'm definitely on you with Born a Crime, Matthew Gonzalez. He needs to run Nitro, and every time he posts something about 10 scale, snowflake-ish, I always say Nitro is the glory, because he has to. I'm on him, and I was talking to him the other day. It's like, I might run it at DNC. I said, don't waste my time. when I see a nitro engine there on your table, I'll believe you. But yeah, man, I'm super excited for you. I actually want to get your dad on her one day. I think your dad would make a great co-host for this. I'll be like, and now we get Chad on, and he'll be just like, I think, and I could hear him going into one of our rants right now. I think it'll be awesome. But tell him I said hello. Would you like to say shout out to your sponsors or anybody before we sign off here?
Yeah, first things first, thanks for having me on the podcast. It was a great time. Hopefully to see you at DNC or any other 8-skill races in the
Not
future,
DNC, but
assuming that they're able to happen.
yes.
Well, maybe at nationals if you end up there. Uh, assuming
Hope
we're
so.
allowed to have these races in the future. Obviously, thanks to all my sponsors: AE, AKA, Phantom, RC1, Dad Bods Design, DBX Films, 920. I couldn't really be where I am without you guys and the support that you're giving me. Hope to see you at the next race, everybody.
Any advice for any young racers out there starting into RC?
Yeah, I guess don't get a big head like I did. Think if I could have stayed a little more level-headed and contained my emotions a little bit better and kept myself in check, I wouldn't have took what some people view as a backward step in racing. Just make sure you're ready to bump up to mod when you're ready to bump up to mod. If it means taking an extra year than people think for stock or whatever you're racing, do that. And the biggest thing's really your head and where you are mentally opposed to how your car is on the track handling wise.
Awesome, man. Awesome. I think you're in a good spot. You sound so much mature, so very mature now, and I like it. Like I said, don't cut the hair, man. Leave it. I love it. We need it. We need that wild hair. You almost look like Max when he had his hair all crazy. When he grew his hair all out. Good luck in whatever you choose to do, man. Thank you for your time coming on her. Good luck at DNC if you go. Tell your dad I said what's up. I'll be following you guys, and hopefully we get you and her. Like, I hope to see you on some podiums this year. I know 10 scale is big for you. I hope you really do well at that. I want to see you do well in Nitro. And good luck, man. And keep that attitude, man. Stay humble, but don't take no crap. Like that, honestly, like you have the right attitude. You don't want to be as good as these guys. You want to be bad or you want to beat them. And I love it. And if more young guys thought like you, they would be further along in their careers too, or further along in their racing. All right, Dreighton. Well, thank you for your time, dude. Stay warm. And man, I look forward to seeing what you do this year.
Thank you.
All right, dude. Bye-bye.
See.
We are now at that point of the show where you should fasten those seatbelts and put your big boy pants on. Whoa. Things are about to get serious. It's time for the JQ Racing Rant.
Yes, indeed. It's time for the JQ Racing Rant. It's time to put your big boy pants on. And, if you're a snowflake, you might want to not listen to this part of the podcast. If you have young children, probably don't want to listen to this because this is the part of the podcast that we get pretty raw and gritty. And, Max, you haven't done one of these in a long time. Did you see I even put you in some of the pictures of the intro of that? So thank you to JQ Racing for sponsoring this part. Shout out to all my JQ Racing family around the world. So, Max, my rant is going to be pretty brief this week. And it involves some incidents that I was involved in this week, which I didn't want to be involved in. So, and I think we as if you're a sponsored racer or whatever you want, if you're getting a deal from somebody, these are probably two things you shouldn't do. So I'll talk about the first one quick. Like, all right, man, I get it. You may not be liking the buggy. You may not be having fun with it. You may feel that it doesn't suit you, as a lot of people say. But that doesn't give you permission to just trash. Here's what aggravates me about this. You give somebody a deal. You give them a deal. People's like, okay, I got a deal. But what do you do? Like, I give you a deal. I help you with support. I push you. I talk to you. I try to, maybe I can't do everything you want. You still get something. When you get one of these deals from a guy, when you got a deal sponsored by a company, you should. I kind of look at it. How would this company? How if this was my company? How would I treat it? You know what I mean? So that means when you're racing, when things are going good, when things are going bad, you got to treat it with respect. You know, like this company, they don't have to give you a discount. Yes, you can get a discount from somewhere else. That's fine. But you chose this company or you chose a particular company. Give them the respect they deserve. Like you put in work. I get it. Sometimes you put in work, you get frustrated, all this type of stuff. I guess my point of this is do not make decisions in emotional ways after a race day. After a bad race day, you might be emotional. You're probably emotional. You're probably like, I hate this car. I hate this. I hate that other stuff. Sometimes it's best just to step back, go sleep, and wake up in the morning with a fresh brain. Don't get on Facebook. Start something. Send pictures of, doing like, don't do stuff like throw cars in trash cans. Yes, it's probably a joke, but for some people out there put a lot of work into it. I know I put a lot of work. I put a lot of time into the people that go into JQ Racing. I have people that leave all the time, and I'm fine with that. I don't mind if you leave the team. What I do mind is how you leave the team. Like you, Max, when you left JQ Racing, you didn't say anything bad. You left. We kind of took a couple of digs at you because we was upset. I know I was, but you didn't say nothing back. You just did your thing and you went.
Yeah.
I think people can learn from that. Like, yeah, you don't like it. But what pissed me off about one of these situations the most is that this guy asked me for a bump in his team's percentage, and we weren't given team percentage. And I said, all right, all right. He's been kind of doing videos and stuff like that. But man, I was just really disappointed in how that happened. And I'm like, usually I let things like that slide, but this week I didn't want to. I just get kind of tired of. I get it. You're a customer too. I try to treat you as a customer. I mean, there's a way to do things. You could have just said, "Hey, Richie," you message the person that you message me like you message me when you want something. You know what I mean? When you want something done, you message me no matter what. Don't be messaging people at 11:30 at night when you're pissed off and sending them messages. Like people are sleeping, man. Come on. And I just woke up to see all of that, and I was just like, man, I'm not letting this slide this week. I've bit my tongue enough. And I kind of posted it on Facebook, and I think it's true. Like, don't burn bridges, man. You never know. You never know when that company, that person might be in a position that you might come and see them. You need them. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm going to say. I mean, these pro guys, they burn bridges too. But if you see it, they really come back around because it's all about money. But as an amateur racer who's doing this for fun, it's not that serious. There's no need to be getting so upset that you burn bridges and people that you once cared about or once you say you cared about. It's like you just treat them like shit. So here's one rule. If you want to leave a company and all that type of, if you think you're going to bounce around companies, don't take a deal, number one. You can go out and do that on the privateer side. But just show the company a little bit of respect when you leave. Like, it's no need for that. Like, it's no need to make a show on Facebook and have, I wake up and there's pictures, people, oh, what's this guy doing? That gets frustrating. So you saw that happen. I'm not mentioning names. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a cool guy, and I like him, and I'm still friends with him and all that stuff. I just didn't appreciate how that happened. There's a way to do things. So that's one thing. Don't burn bridges if you really want to leave. The second thing that I want to rant about was actually something a little bit worse. And I think this is a problem we see in RC. And it comes back to classes and all this type of stuff, and people having to run all these different classes and all this type of stuff. I got involved in something that had absolutely nothing to do with me or JQ Racing last weekend on a Sunday when I'm chilling out. I'm sitting there, I'm watching TV with my son, and I got a match. It's boom. I'm like, what's this? I'm tagged in a post. I see him tagged in a post. I go look at it. Nothing to do with me. It's about a driver that's driving JQ Racing, and apparently he's made some bad deals with a few people, and he's not talking to him, so they get upset. So then next thing you know, somebody, he drives JQ Racing. And next thing you know, I'm tagged in this post on a Sunday, and next thing you know, I'm dealing with something that I have nothing to deal with. Absolutely nothing to deal with. I've only spoke to this person a couple of times on Facebook. I don't know him like that. But I had to come in here, and me and one of our reps had to come in there and kind of clean this mess up, which is fine. I get it. He got things sorted. But I think the problem, the point of this problem is, I get it. When you get into RC, it's very quick to get overwhelmed. You want to race everything. People encourage you to race everything. You want to race truck, you want to race e-bug, you want to race e-truck, you want to race full. You just want everything you can in RC. Well, a wise man once told me, tits and tires cost money. The more tits you have and the more tires you have, the more money you spend. Well, that's the same thing in RC. The more classes you run, the more cars you have. I know I shouldn't talk. I got a bunch of cars in the back there. I don't drive none of them. The more stuff like that you have, the more money you spend. Also, like, just like, come on. RC is so small. If you got a bad name in RC, it doesn't take long for that to spread like fire. Like, if you like have some shady dealings with some guys and all that type of stuff, you're going to be known about that. Like, they're going to tell you about that, and it's going to get out in the open. And then, like, your sponsor gets dragged into it. Like, I got dragged into it. I had to finally kick somebody off the team this week, Max. I've never, ever, in the 3.5 years, almost 4 years I've been working with JQ, I have never had to dismiss somebody from the team. I've wanted to. There's plenty of guys that I would like to dismiss and want to have dismissed, but they kind of just dismiss themselves eventually. It's not something I like doing. I don't like being a dick. I've never been a dickhead type of person. I've always been the type of person that likes to talk to people. I know some people relish in being a dick, like Joseph and other people, but that's not my thing. Like, I don't like to be a dickhead, and I was forced to be a dickhead this week, and I don't like it. So those are two mistakes I would say for you to watch out as a newcomer or as a newbie into RC. Just don't burn bridges, and man, if you're gonna do, I don't know the full story of this dude. I don't know the full story of what happened, but I had a few people message me and tell me what's going on. Just step back. I know how RC can be. It can be addicting. It's like, woo. You gotta sit back and calm down. I see a lot of new guys just getting into RC and spending too much money. Sometimes you get over your head, like I think like this gentleman did. Just step back and calm. This is RC racing, guys. This is I know I say I hate this, but we're racing toy cars. Oh, I can't believe I said that. But if you're more like, there's a time to take things serious. Yes, you have to be serious about your racing, your prep, and all that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, man, if you're not getting a paycheck from this isn't paying any of your bills, then this is supposed to be fun. It should not. RC shouldn't be giving you a bad name and shouldn't be getting you mad at people for unknown reasons, man. You really have to look deep down at yourself and see that you look down. A lot of people can't do this and see what they're doing is actually wrong. You know what I mean? Yeah, that car doesn't suit you, probably because it's built wrong. That's why I love when I get cars that are built by other people and I get them back. So just two incidents I would want to avoid. Your team manager, he never wants to get pulled into a discussion that has nothing to do with it. And this is kind of shitty too. Like, I don't understand why JQ Racing and my name gets pulled into things like this. But I get it. When you ain't hearing from nobody, you have to get into it. So, man, it was a super frustrating couple of days. I dealt with it. And it's some things that I don't think we should have to deal with in RC. So, as a newbie, those are two mistakes you want to avoid. Don't burn bridges, and don't like treat people like how you want to be treated. Like, if you bought something from somebody, sell that person what you wanted to buy. Like, that's, I've just been involved in I've just been involved in so many used car disputes, like, that I just stopped. That's why in the JQ Racing Facebook page, I don't allow selling, nothing. Too many problems, too much stuff. And I always get caught up in it, and I'm tired of it. So please don't make those two mistakes in RC. If you sell something to somebody and they're not happy, make it right. If you want to leave a team, do it the right way. We've seen some crazy stuff, man. I don't know what it is. Like, when we got JQ guys that leave our team, we've had guys burn shirts. We have guys that want to kill Joseph. We have, it's just madness out there. And this is just RC cars, people. I kind of have to take this serious. This is my job. You know what I mean? RC, my livelihood depends on RC, so I take it a little bit serious. And even I don't take it that serious. So, wow, man. I just think we're just making an illusion in RC where everybody could come in and be somebody or be special or be a pro. And sometimes you just got to come in and enjoy RC racing, man. Just enjoy it. Have fun. And fuck all this like being sponsored and this, and if you don't want to be sponsored, don't be sponsored. Like don't do that. Go support your local hobby shop. But if you're gonna take a deal from somebody, give that person the respect that they deserve. And I don't know, man. Just a culture we've created, Max. The unsustainable business model that is RC racing, man. It's collapsing on itself. People can't see it. We're like ostriches with our heads in the ground, hoping it goes away, and it's just not gonna work. Not gonna work. So I don't know if you have anything to say about with that, Max. But
I thought you had a good thing going for you, so I was just playing quiet.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm
You
sorry. And you know
No,
what?
no, you did great.
And to the people that I had to kind of be a dickhead to this week, I don't take it personal. I did take the car and the trash can personal because I was like, that's just not. I wouldn't do that to somebody. Um, but it is what it is, man. I just think there's better ways we can do things, and think before you do it. And remember, like when you're dissing somebody's product or saying this is like, especially with us, like this, every car that I sell, like I have my personal touch to it. Like, you know what I mean? Or every person that comes on and I got them on the team, I put time and effort into that person to talk to them and stuff like that because I like to get to know people. But just over the years, like I don't know, I try not to do that as much anymore because it just I got disappointed in the end. But I'm over that now. But just do things right. If you want to leave, do it right, and just like if you think it's too expensive, slow down. You don't need to run 20 classes. You need to run what classes you like and leave it at that. The more classes you run, the more tires you need, the more money you spend. So
Yeah.
I don't know,
There's
people.
there's one thing there's
Go
one thing
ahead.
I want to say though, which is that I saw someone say that on one of those posts about this whole issue.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said that, well, JQ is a dick, so whatever, who cares? He acts like an asshole, so why can't we? The thing is, as soon as you take a discount or like say you are in a team, then you are representing another person.
Exactly.
If you represent yourself, you can be a dick. Jake represents himself and his company, and that's like he can do what himself. He represents only himself and his company. He
Mm-hmm.
represents himself. You are representing someone else, and you have to take that into account.
Yeah.
That's if you do something shitty, you are doing it to someone else. You know,
Exactly. And everybody
if you
sees it.
say yeah, and that's like you need to if you are not if you're a privateer, then you can say Mike, the car I'm running is shit, Keenan is an asshole, whatever. But
Yeah.
if you take a discount, if you're a contracted customer, whatever, like then you have a responsibility. You have the responsibility because you get that discount, you get that team support. That's like the whole point of being a team driver,
Yeah.
and that's what you give back.
I agree with you 100%. Guys just think about that discount. They don't worry about. No, they are very good. Don't get me wrong. Very good guys out there doing a lot of hard work representing their sponsors. And like results, oh yeah, we want results, but I take hard workers who represent pits look clean, helping people out, great ambassadors for RC. I would take somebody like that. I would take 10 guys like that over one fast, stuck up asshole. Yes, I want results,
Yeah,
but I don't want a stuck up guy who didn't want to help nobody and do nothing like that. So it's hard. Like it's hard. And especially with us, we're such a small company and it's personalized, like, you know. So just think, you had a bad race day. Think. You know, I had a bad day last week. I wanted to destroy everything at one point. But I thought, you know what I mean? That's what happens when you get angry. You think, you have
yeah,
to think before you do things. So I don't know, guys. RC is fun. We're here to have fun. If you want to switch cars, great. Go switch cars. Don't take deals from people. If you want to support your hobby shop, do that. Like, it's just simple as that. We're giving too many deals away in RC. Everybody expects it, and it's destroying RC racing. And it's making RC racing expensive for everybody else to get in. That's why prices are high. We're giving too many discounts to people. It's just simple as that. It's it's simple. And guess what? I'm guilty of doing it. I'm so guilty of doing it. I've done it because there's no other way to do things. That's why we need to change RC. That's why we need to change it, Max. All right, Max. Well, thank you for your time, man. I greatly appreciate it. It was a great chat with you. I
yeah,
think you're going to become a regular here on the podcast. You know, we're going to rotate you in and out, or whenever you want to come, you can do it. Go check out
yeah,
Max Mort's YouTube channel, Max Mort, right?
yeah, yeah. Just Max Mort.
All right, check him out. Give him a sub. Hit that notification button, a like, a share, because we want to grow his YouTube channel. He's doing some great videos there. Check him out. Hey, Max is smart. Thank you, Max, for your time. Thank you, Dreighton Stoub, for your time. It was a great chat with you as well. I look to see you doing big things. I'm excited to see you running Nitro. Thank you to everybody that sent in questions. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to all the NNRC squad around the world. We can't do it without you guys. To all the patrons of NNRC, thank you guys. I greatly appreciate your support. And shout out to the awesome companies that support us, man. Mayako, Tekno, Beach RC, JQ Racing, Sun City RC Raceway, Racecraft USA, Manscaped.com, RCMX, Wally Builds, Papa Willie's Traction Tonic, House of RC, and RCGP. Right. And don't forget to go to our YouTube channel, the No Name RC Podcast. If you haven't already subbed, our podcasts are now on video. I need to get back to doing my videos as well, which I will do, just been a bit busy. Please go hit that sub button. Give us a like, because we're trying to grow that YouTube channel. We need to get to 1,000 subs. Max, you need 1,000 subs too. And help us out, man. I think everybody out there making content in RC is doing a good job, and we need to help each other out. Everybody have fun at
Definitely.
JBRL this weekend. I'm super jealous I'm not there. I would love to be there. I would love to be in California right now with these races coming up. We have DNC coming up. We'll be doing a show with that. Max, probably maybe one next week or week after. Whenever Max wants to come on, he can come on. And hey, Max, anything to say to everybody before we go?
Nothing too crazy. Yeah, Keenan already shouted me out, so I don't have to plug anything anymore. But
Shout out to your sponsors.
oh yeah, I'm running Associated now. No longer a JQ guy. So Associated, Power HD, and Ultimate. I don't have much sponsors right now.
Okay.
I like to keep it. I like to run the products I like. So
Right. So
that's
you're
how
kind
I
of like
keep
a
it.
privateer slash.
Yeah. Well, I'm a team driver for Associated. So
Right.
I
But
mean,
on the other
yeah,
stuff,
but like
you're
all
kind
the
of
for
free agent.
tires and for other stuff, like whatever I need, I just buy it if it's good, you know.
Good stuff.
But yeah, keep RC cool and
Yeah.
be open-minded.
Yes.
Don't call people clowns just because you saw one video about a new brand.
Yeah. There you go. Max, that really pissed you off. I can tell that hit a nerve.
Yeah.
Great, man. Thank you for your time, man. Honestly, I'm glad we're back talking again. Not that we stopped, but I stopped talking to you, and then just me being upset, being disappointed, and also giving you your space to figure out what you wanted to do. That's kind of what I done. So I'm glad to you're my friend. You're like my little brother. I like that, and I'm glad to be able to talk to you again. So thank you for your time, man. I greatly appreciate it. And
Yeah, it was fun.
yeah. And keep up the good work. Have a good time at work today. Thank you, everybody. Remember, Nitro is the glory. Ebuggy pays the bills. If you ain't grinding, you're sliding. And hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Lefty out.
Thank you for listening to the No Name RC podcast. We greatly appreciate all the support and love from you, the listeners. Without all of you, none of this is possible. Special thanks to our patrons on Patreon. If you wish to support the podcast further, you can at patreon.com/NNRC podcast. As a patron, you will receive early releases, special content, and patron-only giveaways. Also, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and our website, www.nnrcpodcast.com. Remember, Nitro is the glory, but Ebuggy pays the bills. If you aren't having fun, it doesn't make sense. And if you ain't grinding, you're sliding. Lefty out. Nitro is the glory. Nitro is the glory. Nitro is the glory.
wasn't so bad.